Yeah,
So now that we have everyone here, except for Johnny,
I'm here. Allie's not here
um,
though.
does anyone want to particularly kick this off? Somebody have something so pressing they need to do that
Dying to do it.
Oh, now you're back, Johnny. All right.
Yeah, we're just gonna get some food here in a bit, but we got some time before that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Johnny.
What's up?
So I did my superior,
Yeah.
my catalyst superior. I just wanted to ask, is there anything Susie wanted to do to like alter stuff in any way, shape, or form? I remember you saying you wanted people to wait until after you did whatever you did with that quest to start evolving.
So I kind of jumped the gun, and I have like 5 big things I need to do. So I could help by giving you knowledge of things you could use. But unless you want to use like make some Mercuria and like Mercuria stones, like I don't really have nothing I can offer at this time.
Okay. I was just checking.
Yeah, I got a title quest, and I kind of overrid everything else I was going to be able to do. So there's no real. Cherry milkshake? Sure. What are you gonna get?
All right.
Yeah, let's do the chocolate. Yeah, the chocolate peanut butter one should be good.
Yeah. So don't worry about it. He also didn't need to help you particularly because the you only use crystals, and crystals you don't need to balance.
Yeah.
Pretty
I was
cut and
just
dry.
curious if you needed or something like.
I appreciate you asking, Million.
Okay. Then we are going to continue on.
I'm gonna post my my 4 days that I have.
Oh, you finally given me that.
Yeah.
All right. Wondering when you were going to do that.
Here it is.
Also need alleys.
Yeah, I'm.
Board.
Sent on Discord.
It was pretty boring.
I see what you did. Ah,
What?
yeah. No, I see what you did.
See? You want me to
Yeah.
post it again?
No, I see it. Yeah. Just you worked on a book. Slept a lot. Scared some people.
Left a lot. Scared some people. What else is there to do?
But you're a Mothman.
There's a
Can't
ton of
watch
stuff to do.
Netflix.
There's a ton of stuff to do.
Like what?
You can go outside.
Now I can, now that the 2 weeks is over. But I had to wait for the 2 weeks to be over.
Well, actually, you guys that was only 4 days. That's a lot of progress for 4 days. But that's because you're sleeping. All right. Well, I hope you guys have 2 weeks worth of stuff ready to do, Allie and Johnny, because we're
2 extra weeks?
I'm gonna spend the
Yeah.
first week screaming at the sky because I hated that.
yeah, because we're starting week 5.
I see.
Yeah.
I was wondering. You did give me the wrong time.
I did.
Johnny.
Yeah, I was under a different
I
assumption.
thought we had more
No, I
time
was
than
trying
4
to push
days.
you guys along, but you know, you guys wanted to do other stuff. Like I told you, we were weeks ahead. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So why don't you guys think what you guys can do for 2 weeks, unless you already know, and we can get through it. But we're
Well-
on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I want it to work on my cocoon, obviously, and I also want it to wonder at the stars some more.
Okay.
And I do want to scream at the sky.
Okay. Just screaming at the sky or yelling at the sky?
A little bit both.
Okay. Go ahead and write some stuff down for me. Remember, you guys got 2 weeks, so that's quite a bit of DTA. You know how that works, so 8 per day, got times 7. Yeah. I think it's 112 DTA, 56 times 2.
How long will it take me to build a sanctuary?
Well, when you finish the book, we'll have to.
Oh, I have to finish it. You told me I
well,
only needed 20%.
Start, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But you're so close.
I can finish the book, yeah, I might as well. Sure. Why not?
Okay. Why don't you, Yeah, that's why I wanted you guys to show up early so we could get this all done. To mitigate this, why don't you guys, because Taylor can't play for very long, why don't you guys write it out for me? You got 112 DTA. Don't forget sleep. You can also put in eating in the sleep category as well. Go to bed and then eat, or wake up and then eat. You know, one of the two. Okay. Phil, are you still digging? Because you're basically almost done with the 3rd floor.
Yeah. I was also about to send you a message about like relative size, but yeah. Still digging.
I'm still gonna need to know how much time it's gonna take to build my sanctuary, though. Or are we gonna go through a whole thing for it?
We're gonna go through the whole thing for it.
Okay. Can I schedule it in somewhere?
You just gotta let me know when you are ready to start it. Like what point in the DTA?
Fairly sure it'll only take me one more day to finish the book. Schedule reading at the sky.
Agree at that sky. Very
Mm.
important. All right. Grimald, what are you doing?
Still going to be overseeing the training of my gecko archers.
They are no longer Gecko Archers. They're Gecko Warriors.
Gecko warriors. Yes, that's right. We've rebranded them.
All right. What type of All right. So you kind of settled them into a new routine. Their new lifestyle. You're starting to get through the warlord status of Gekka-san. He has been able to acquire Zorp riders for his people, which is very dangerous for your Gecko warriors to train them. But only the most worthy and badass Gecko warriors can have a Zorp as their mount, because Zorps are just fearless and they will mess up anybody.
So I wanted to run an idea by you.
Okay.
I want to establish 2 new, basically, roles within the war tribe. One of scholar, and they're basically druid and shaman. One is like sort of like a keeper of knowledge, and I want to start. And I may have to invest some Aether for this. So let me know how that's going to work.
Okay.
And I want to start teaching them language. And also basically shamanic magic, and also potentially need to invest some Aether in this as well, or some merit.
Okay.
to basically start teaching them war tactics, so they have a more sophistication in their battle patterns and fighting style and everything.
Okay. So that's 3 things. So
Yep.
the first one is you have your shamans.
Yep.
And then you have your druids, and then you have your battle tactics.
Yep.
To address it, shamans are, in this particular case, are going to be your kind of your scholar mage.
Yep.
They're going to be basically the equivalent of a wisdom caster, so willpower. To do so, you need to get Aether into your geckos. So you're going to need to invest Aether, but they're really small. These guys don't have they don't even have a monster core for it to accumulate. So you need to fundamentally change the geckos. And to do that, you need to do it incrementally, but they also have to, expose themselves to it. So
Is there any way that I could potentially put like some sort of Aether in their camp and they sort of passively draw from it?
You can, but that wouldn't. If you put it in your camp, that would infect everybody over time. Some may have an adverse reaction to it. What you can do is create a trial where you have, it's when somebody wants to be a shaman, they need to traverse down this pathway lined with more and more potent amount of Aether.
Yep, that sounds good.
And they, when you reach the end of the path, you are a shaman, because they actually would, if you can survive that much Aether, that means you've evolved to something else. And it would be up to them to try and go to a specific distance until they can't take it anymore, come back, and then try and go further each try. So, Path of the Shaman. There's other ways you could do it too. You can do it so that they have to bathe in some sort of liquid, or have it tattooed on them with Aether.
I like the Path of the Shaman, and then maybe at the end of it they get that tattoo.
Sure. Yeah. That's not going to be too expensive for you, but the end, you're going to need. How powerful do you want these fucking shamans to be?
For starters, I want them to be strong enough to first of all be able to have the pecking order established, right? Mm-hmm. So basically stronger than the average warrior, and have the intelligence to be able to teach a language to the Gecko warriors.
Okay. So, not very magically powerful. So, at most, you're going to need a medium grade Aether Stone at the very end of the Path of the Shaman.
Yep.
Because anything more than that it doesn't matter if they try; they just die in the process. Because they don't have a monster core. Without a monster core, it doesn't really help to be exposed to that. So probably one of your medium grade, which you get every day, and then 100 of your low grade, and then a bit of digging.
Yep.
That'll cost you 1 DTA to build up the Path of the Shaman. And then for your druids, what are you?
Basically, the idea, I want them to specialize in aura magic. So, having some sort of, and this could potentially be accomplished by like a Aether infused drum, to where they beat on the drum and a berserker aura goes out, which bloodlusts the troops. So they're more so support roles. They might have like a regeneration totem that allows them to place a totem that passively heals the Gecko warriors.
Wouldn't that be the shaman and the others would be the druids?
Well, I was kind of just giving you kind of a meta of what I was going for, and then you could kind of work out the details there.
Okay.
So one of them is more of a aura focused battle mage, and one of them is more of like the tribe wisdom, the kind of an advisor to Gekko-san.
Okay, so then you only need the Path of the Shaman, because the shamans can do both the druid and the be able to cast magic and whatnot. What you're probably going to want to do is do a scholar warrior path. Yep. And that would actually be just as difficult. I don't know how you want to set it up, but you would have to get them exposed to specific texts. If you want them to build their own language, you would actually probably just want to give them a mandate. Go to Gekko-san. Gekko-san will then instruct his people to build a language. And those who participated and successfully constructed a language, like the written word, may call themselves a scholar.
So I have so my idea is that I want them to learn Common, but I also, and this is a part of my title quest, I want them to start seeking the gods, and I'm not going to give them any instruction other than that.
Okay, so you go to their giant wall because they live next to a cliff.
Yep. And
you carve into it your instruction. Now, they can't read it, but that doesn't mean you.
I write on the stone wall. I write the gods of old, the gods of young. I wish for you to become one. And then I go to Gekko-san and I say, learn this language, which I will help you. Read this instruction and execute on the task.
As it gives you the his usual salute. He's scary looking right now. He's actually, one of his shoulder sashes is actually a big old Zorp hide with spikes on it, and his belt is made out of a gecko hide from his competitor, a challenger that he killed. So he's ruthless. Your Gekko-san.
He's growing up so fast.
Yeah, and he gets up and starts to order his subordinates around. Yeah, that'll cost you about 2 DTA to set everything up and get your geckos moving towards a new thing. Do you want to try and introduce any new materials or any new things for them to work with?
Yep, so I want to consult our Skellerman for this next thing, because I know he's sort of our manager of the inventory, right? Of the vault?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
HR.
So, I approach our Skellerman and I ask a question. I ask, do we have anything of minor magic, something that's not very valuable, but could be potentially purposed into some sort of totem? Items that could be purposed to some sort of totems that could aid my gecko warriors in battle.
A totem to aid your gecko warriors in battle. Let me look what I have to the vault. I'll walk up to the vault.
And I look at him and I say, and we're talking pretty minor magic here, so nothing terribly rare.
Within the gecko archer lineage, right?
Yeah, something that wouldn't blow them up.
I understand. I want to walk over and
or completely ruin what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
If you were to bring in a Kali Bloodstone in their vicinity, they would wipe each other out within a night.
Yeah. I want to walk over to the vault and put in the secret pen number.
Yeah, put in the secret pin number. You do hear it before you start putting in the pin number.
I turn my head around and look for the beholder.
Greetings,
this bastard.
Manager.
How may I help you, young one?
I am looking at. Don't you did. You better watch your toes on that one. I am far older than all of you put together. My body may be young, and honestly, that's not so bad. I get to
Then-
perfect my lineage and my growth. Rare opportunity. Anyways, I'm looking for evolutionary materials, specifically a superior grade Aether Gem. You wouldn't happen to have a spare one we could make a trade over, would you?
I do have a spare one, though I'm unsure if you're able to make a trade right now.
Well, you see, I have quite a few things, an unlimited amount of things I can trade. Not physical objects per se. No. I have the most valuable thing. Knowledge. I
This
know
is true.
things.
Knowledge is valuable.
And I know a great many things. So many things.
So many things?
Oh, yes. You
Like
smell
what?
different. Did you make a contract or something? It
Mm,
smells like burning flesh.
That is weird. I haven't burned anyone alive in a few days now.
No, when you do a major magic and form a contract with something, you see, you get that there's a smell.
So Grimold casts a Nightmare Twin and kind of walks from the shadows and says, "Are you always this boring?"
I can't hear over your mewling over there, so shush. I'm trying to have a conversation with our finance manager. Go away.
I turn the Nightmare Twin into like a caricature of the Beholder and make him dance around like an idiot, and then it disappears.
I'm surrounded by children. Children!
I tell you what,
Mm.
I will be very willing to provide you with a superior Aether Gem for your evolution,
Mm-hmm.
on the condition that you are able to give information to Lord Ghoul, personal information to Lord Ghoul about yourself.
No
that he
dice.
does not already know.
Because he can ask for that. Because he's the dungeon lord.
Yes, but this would show your loyalty to him.
No, I don't have any such thing.
Mm,
You know that.
oh, I do.
Don't delude yourself. I'm not going to be loyal to a creature eventually I will eclipse in power. Come on, think.
I know you wouldn't, but it's interesting to see if you would.
No, I wouldn't. Besides, it would be a poor trade anyways. Mostly for your lord, which I know you have a very strong loyalty towards, which is rather annoying. But anyways, he could just ask me. I was formed out of this dungeon's aether. So, as the dungeon lord, he can just ask me things. And it would behoove me to answer appropriately. Although, secrets are secrets.
Secrets of secrets.
Such as information about things. I can't just go around spilling all of it.
Let alone know whether it is actually good information.
Precisely. You wouldn't know. But if we do a trade, it's in my best interest to make sure you feel that you made a good trade. It builds an establishment of a relationship, a little bit of trust that both sides are working for their best interest in themselves by not screwing over the other guy, so that we
This
can
is
do
true.
future purchases and trades from each other down the line. Bigger ones.
Unfortunately, I will not be able to give you any Aether Gems because it would be disobeying my lord's orders.
And which were?
Oh, the first generation was supposed to be stronger than second generation.
True, but here's the deal. I would not be stronger than you. I'm pretty sure well, my eyes don't lie to me. You are very strong. I think a single evolution wouldn't hurt. And then I can
Oh.
get actually working with my jobs, because I have a list of jobs that I need to pick up for their my research. I love my research, you see. And I want to begin my research, but I needed specific jobs to do that.
Which job do you need for that?
Well, that's information. Or is this do I tell you my plans for this evolution and then you give me the stone?
Maybe. I also have information I need and plans I need fulfilled.
Well, are we making a trade?
No. I only have a single superior evolution. I do not plan on giving you your first superior evolution yet.
Your mistake. Because it does expand what I can and can't do for the dungeon, you see.
It does expand what you can and cannot do for the dungeon. This is
Which
true.
would benefit you all, and most importantly, your lord.
Yes. And as a beholder, you always try to have the upper hand in deals.
I always do, and I always get it. No one has ever made a better deal than me. I always make the best deals, you see.
So while they're talking, I'm going to send through the friend network. I'm going to connect with Susie and say, can you by chance start researching what kind of creature or power it would take to destroy a beholder?
Susie, you know this answer. Kill the guy, break his gem. Done. That's all you need to do.
How about this, young one?
I'm not young. Stop that.
How about you tell me a demonic name, and I'll give you a superior Aether Gem.
No dice. That's worth at least a flawless or treasure grade.
Unfortunately, you're going to find here that you will not get the superior deal.
No, I'm going to get a superior deal, especially involving demonic names. I do happen to know a few, actually.
You do.
They make great servants, if you know how to
they?
collar them. I do know how to do that. But that I'm going to hold on for when I can get a couple specific items out of you.
We'll see.
Anyways, so you have quite a few useless items in your what is that called? Your little vault, your little hidey hole. Quite so many that it would actually behoove you to assist me to get the Dismantler class.
This is true. Now, question is, how did you enter the vault without my permission?
I haven't. I waited outside patiently until you, opened it. I looked inside, and then, I could only glance around. But it's a lot of human items, you see, I saw in there, which only you can wear. The whatever, the ghoul could wear. Ghoul could wear, but he won't. And that's about it. But all of you need catalyzing components, and wouldn't it be nice if you just had a really large stockpile? Think on it. I know how to do some secret classes and how to expedite the process and all the different things.
And then, what would it take for this Dismantler class?
That's
2
information.
3?
No, it would require a piece of paper, some very special ink, and a hell of a lot of knowledge about how to do something. I think it's called a gold filament instructional, which I can write, because I know the formula. It would give me a quest, I would just do the quest, and I'd have it in a week. But of course, I need an evolution, need a few jobs, need some catalyzing stuff, but we can work out that transaction. Think on it, great financier, as he floats off. Think on it.
Goodbye, young one.
Goodbye, younger one. So you turn around, finish putting in the code.
And come on in.
Alright, Grimald, you and Eatsley go into the vault, which I will move us back to that map.
So you're looking for something of a totem.
Yes.
Eatsy's gonna look through his list of what's in here and try and find something of light magic that they don't really need. Maybe a banner of some kind.
There are several rings, jewelry accessories. There are several just materials, like catalyzing materials that you have. There are a couple items, but they're way too large to sit next to the geckos. So, your best bet is there's a necklace, a ring, and then there's actually a badge, a little pin, that all have extremely minor magic, but they also they're a buff item, minor buff item.
Okay. Easy honestly probably grab the pen because he's been watching the Gecko Archers or the Gecko Warriors now.
Yep.
And he's gonna learn. Grimald, I think this is what you're looking for. A pen?
Yes,
that one the pen gives +5 willpower against fear, and gives +1 damage, +1 pen. And that's all the pen does.
Is this something that would work for me for what I'm talking about?
You think so? Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't give off a lot of strong magic. But that's kind of the point. Because, as you're walking around, you're kind of... It's hard to tell in this place. Because there's so much power emanating from some of these objects. That it can drown out the voices of these items that have almost no presence. Like, you have a couple divine tier in here, like that tiara. That tiara just completely on that corner of the room. There is no signature you can feel that's not treasure grade.
Yeah.
On that side, because it just completely washes their presence away. It's just too strong. The only reason you knew that this existed was because you ran through every item in here, and you're like, oh, well, you have quite a few actually low tier magic grade items.
But yes, Colonel, I think this would be what you're looking for. If this does not work, there is a ring and a necklace. Ace is gonna kind of like take them out and put them to the side. Should you want to use them, use these items as set, they'll be here.
Grimble, make me an int test, because each one of these items does a different thing. Do you have logic?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and roll that as well.
Tough crowd today.
Yeah, tough crowd. You're not sure. The potency of one item, it could do it. Yeah. You're not sure if you were to bring the others, because each of them does a different thing, would hurt or help. Because the necklace gives a bonus to int, and it has a cantrip spell in it that you can cast a couple times per day. And the ring gives a strength bonus when in combat. All really minor stuff. So plus
Yep.
5 to end, plus 5 to strength, and then you've got plus 5 to willpower against fear. One lets you cast spells. One.
So I have an idea. Would it be easy to create some like 3 cases for these items?
What do you mean?
So the idea is that we put the 3 on display, and they have to complete certain trials to open up the case and use the item.
Oh, the geckos aren't going to be able to use the item. These are human-sized.
I mean, in terms, use them as like a totem, basically. Or
I mean,
or
you
would
could
this be
have
something?
their aura be over each of the houses. Like the shamanic longhouse would have the necklace,
Sure.
and then you would have the warriors' barracks
Mm-hmm.
would have the ring, and then of course the pen would be, could be at the leaders' hall or the scholars' hall or whatever.
Yeah, that works.
There's a lot you could do. But yeah, and you can also assign them to make it so that it's carryable. You know, you put it on a big pole, carry it in the battle, which would be really funny because they're carrying minor magic items as a buff into battle.
Yep. Well, let's start there, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break while we sort out some of the other players' gameplay.
Okay. Yep. That'll be 3 DTA for
Cool.
for your day.
How many more do I have left for the by chance?
5 for the day.
Okay. All right. Thank
It's
you.
8
I'll
per
be
day.
right back.
All right. It's like you were pulled into that, and you lost the DTA there.
Fair enough.
But yeah, you're looking over all the items. And it's like, shit.
While he's in here, he's actually going to search for a small lance or spear.
There's plenty.
He's specifically roughly about for cheapin. Probably not going to be able to get to him now, but
There's actually a couple that are kind of annoying. Like one, you have found that has punctured a breastplate, and you guys have yet to be able to pull that out of the breastplate.
Eekly is actually going to go find cheapin.
Cheapney?
Cheapney,
Cheapney.
yes. Cheapney.
I mean, these are full spears and lances. These are not.
Mhm.
These are for big boys.
Oh, okay, fair. Like I said, I was looking for something about roughly the size of a cheapney.
Oh no!
I figured not, but
You would need toothpicks.
fair enough.
He's a very
He's gonna-
small guy.
He's gonna go and just make some earth-sized toothpick, like use earth-shaped to make toothpicks.
Okay.
And I'm like, hey. I'm like, here you go, cheapney. This
Mhm.
is for sparring.
For sparring!
I hear you'd make a good lancer.
I
Go away,
am an
charge.
amazing lancer. As he flies around all menacingly.
Hmm. I like cheapney. He's cute. I also like Ugix too. Don't get me wrong. I love both of them.
You hear "Fear me" echoes somewhere deep in the dungeon, muffled
Fear not.
somewhere.
Somewhere. He has only gotten louder, unfortunately.
Ugix, he's doing the same thing you've told him to do previously, and he hasn't really stopped as he kind of mindlessly continues his task. And your rot spirit, he just kind of does the little click, 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 doing.
What a cute little rat spirit.
The poison in the stored chambers,
Mhm.
The disease has rotted. It's no longer usable. It has decayed, and it's you don't have any disease in that room anymore.
Interesting. Unleavened little rats are like, interesting. I didn't think you'd be able to get rid of a disease like this.
Click, 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 doing.
Powerful indeed you are.
Just stares at you, and then it pops up, and he's about 3 inches tall. And he kind of, it looks like a skip, but his legs are all like rubbery, and he kind of and skips over, kind of kicks out a spot, and then sits down again, and then click, 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 doing.
Cute thing.
He will be moving over in front of your spiky death room.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have Cheapney practice some of the Wonders techniques. I want to see if Ugix can learn the Wonders techniques as well, and see if they might be helpful.
Ugix, when he looks at it, I'm gonna give him a roll.
Come on, Ugix, you got this.
He starts to do some weird funky dance, like almost like the what is that?
Capoeira?
No, more the blow up inflatable thing that looks like he's flailing everywhere. That
What is
people
it?
put in front of like car.
Yeah, the airman.
Yeah, the airman. But he also does it with the legs as well. He's he's onto something. You think? I don't know. So
It's
he's
okay,
just.
Ugix.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
Uh-huh. Itzy's also gonna hold classes for people who are wanting to learn the Wonders technique.
Chief D's like, I'm here. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to train. I'm ready to do it. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be great.
Start the first technique, and then help them through the 5 techniques.
Well, you'll help them through technique 1. You know how long that takes.
Yeah.
Chadney's like, it's gonna take me a little bit more to get through this. I won't give up. I never give up. I'm gonna be a hero one day.
Yes, you will.
A monster hero.
The best kind of hero. And I have faith that you could even improve upon these techniques in your own fighting styles.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. That's what a hero would do. Heck yeah. He doesn't have the stats for this, so he'll continue to try.
It's okay.
Very good. Very good.
Help them, and also like if they need help them improve their stats.
Okay. Anything else for the rest of your day? That's helping them takes they don't require a lot of time to give instruction. So that takes about a DTA.
Yeah. Honestly, besides that, because we can't leave yet, right?
Oh no, yeah, you could leave at the outside. You just can't leave the array.
Yeah, we can't leave the array yet.
You've been able to leave for 2 weeks to go outside.
Yeah, Ethan's just gonna go outside and start exploring.
Okay.
And save 1 time action to work on his math equations.
Okay.
Make sure no unscrupulous types start following him.
There is one that follows you. That Cazador stalks you, and but you know he's there. He's been subjugated by Lord Goal, so you know he won't attack you, but he's still standing there menacingly.
Mm.
Do you do anything, or just going about your day?
I will make it known that I know he's there, but I ignore him.
Okay. So Johnny has given me his 2 weeks worth of stuff. Let's take a peek. 3 to cooking. You did the willpower, reading about monsters. Okay. S2. What is that? Johnny, you here? You muted again. Am I just talking to myself? Ah, crap.
It's okay, I hear you.
Bye, my brother. Bye,
Yeah.
my friend.
Well, we'll just jump the million then, since he is here and Johnny is not. You still digging, or do you want to actually because you're about to finish the 3rd floor.
Yes.
Unless you just want to go on a mining expedition and just continue to dig, which you absolutely can.
I shall finish digging the 2nd floor.
Yes. And discuss
Um,
relative sizes of rooms later.
Well, at one point I'm working on the 2nd floor and filling it out. I'll probably at the end of session just make a new map and then leave it there so you can, at your leisure, throughout the week, fill that out.
With what?
Because you dug it.
Yeah.
Never mind. All right. So the let's see, about 3 DTA left worth of digging the 3rd floor, and then what do you want to do?
I already did the excuse me. The 2 weeks. So would this be into week 3?
Well, week 5 technically.
3. Okay, so I'll spend those 3 DTA digging. So that'd be 9. And I would hit my next milestone.
Cool. Look at you.
Yeah.
All right.
408.
So
God damn it.
whenever you dig, this will be called treasure finder. Whenever you dig in groupings of basically a 10 or more kilometers in a single dig, you can have 1 seeded roll that you can store, or you can use on that dig. The seeded roll basically guarantees a specific value, and it will replace your worst roll.
It's 1 seeded roll per 10 kilometers or 1 seeded roll per dig?
Per 10 kilometers dug in a single dig.
Okay. Seeded roll.
Which for you right now is 4.
The dig.
I believe. Yep. You can store them. The max you can store is 10. You can use them whenever you dig. So whenever you make a roll to find treasure, if you don't like the roll, you can replace it with your seeded roll.
My seeded roll is what? Do I like roll beforehand or?
Yes, you would roll beforehand because, hell, you could roll
So
really,
it's
really
like
well.
it's like portent.
I think so.
Portent.
Yeah, portents. Yeah.
Okay.
The seeded roll will be a 25 until you upgrade it to be better. So you would replace the roll with a 25.
$25.
So pretty good.
Yep.
You found a Zercola around that area
Yeah, last
of
time.
roll. For those who don't know, Zercola is a Tesla rock. It lets off Tesla arcs in a mad flurry around it at all times. Makes a lot of noise.
Well, it did at the time.
Yeah, and then you used it for a
Yep.
cool little item. Do you want me to roll? Why don't you roll those 3d100? See what you get.
D100.
That's all great. You find a large iron deposit though for that 45.
Ooh. Okay, cool. How many tons?
2.
We're at 8 now.
Pretty good. Find some good stone though, here and there. Pretty tasty.
Delicious.
Pretty good for making statues and tiles and whatnot.
Perhaps
Alright, what do you wanna
Perhaps I shall request Susie to develop a stone broth. Or would that just be sand? That might just be sand.
No, that would be a. Yeah, you can make liquid stone. Be very difficult.
Turn it into a broth. Make a
But
It's
rock soup.
Liquid stone would literally be a stone element only, but in its liquid form, which is, as I said, very hard to do, especially without the water element involved. Or using any water at all.
I don't know, I heard an old story that you could get broth from a stone just by boiling it.
You know, interestingly enough, I heard something similar at one point.
But
yeah,
are
it's
you
like an
boiling
old
it in water?
folktale.
Yeah.
But you're boiling it, which means you are just heating the stone, or are you putting it in water?
You gotta look it up, it's a folktale. It's cute.
Okay.
It's like a lesson about being a dick,
Okay.
scamming people out of their money. It's just the lesson is it's really easy to scam people out of their money.
All right. What do you want to do for the rest of the day, Phil? Because you do spend 2 DTA to sleep. You spent 3 for that, so you got 3 left.
Temple.
Yep. 2 left.
Yep. Yeah.
You.
In the temple.
Oh, you want to spend all 3 in the temple?
Yes, we shall temper my my expectations.
Cool.
Of the world at large.
Anything you want to do in the temple during that time? Or just kind of lounge about?
I shall practice the art of making shapes in the water.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I can see them, because they would be making them underwater with water.
Well, you will be having a little bit of a fun little playtime with the water spirit, because it
Actually,
can.
supposed to be the value of share.
It can. So it'll make water shapes in water that no one can see but you in it. Yes. Exciting. All right. Johnny, you're back.
I am.
Tried to engage you earlier. You were missing.
Like I said, we were getting food, so we're back now.
Okay. Alright, looking at the thing you sent me. So 3d8 for 1 willpower. 1 point willpower meditation. What does the S2 mean?
Oh, sleeping.
Oh, okay. Sleep 2. And then you study reading about monsters? Cool. Are you
Yeah.
looking for any specific monster, or are you just, getting info?
I think I'm gonna open up that book. That blanking here. The book that has the mythical creatures in it.
That was a
Or
rare
it's gonna
book.
It's gonna be like a tomb. No, a tome. Tome. There we go. Right word.
Yeah, that was a very rare book.
I mean, it was created from my bond, right? So.
Mhm.
Uh,
Very rare book. Not a lot of those going around. That actually could get you in a lot of trouble. Having a book like that.
well, it's only in my head, so don't worry about that.
But you can take it out of your head. That's the key fun part.
I can take it out of my head, eh?
Well, any book that's in your head can also be taken out.
Fair. I think you have it so it's like a -20 willpower test or something.
Yes. It's also very painful.
Yeah, I get fatigue for reading it, so.
Okay. So, what are you looking for?
So the first one we'll go for is Mothman,
Okay.
because I think we have Mothman. That's a mythical creature, mythical legendary. We have Gegi Gorgon. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I do believe the dragon is a mythical creature.
Yeah, dragons. What was the second one?
Geiki Gorgon.
Whatever your dragon's called. Degi
Diggy Dargan?
Dargan for sure. Million, what's your dragon called?
Oh, the Turkey
Let's
Gante.
stay- No,
Turkey
no,
Gante.
no.
Turkey
Let's
Gante.
stick with Diggy Dargan. That's way better.
Okay, all right. Like I
I'm
said,
not
sorry
even joking.
for
Amazing.
mispronouncing that. When I
Do
couldn't remember.
do
the
you
name.
want to replace because you would be leading the race on this? Do you want to be known in all of the different books and knowledges around the world? Not Turkey Gante, but you are the Diggy Dargans.
Yes.
All right.
100%.
You're
The
okay.
Diggy
So
Dargan.
in all monster books across the world, any information about his race, they are called the Diggy Dargans. They are also actively at war with the Earth Dragons because of that. Because how dare those spiked and horned cockroach of a dragon be better at digging than the Earth Dragons?
I just thought they were at every dragon, so yeah.
Well, you guys are also Earth Dragons, but they are there's an actual core Earth element type dragon. They're basically almost a semi-elemental. So, all right, you flip it over, Diggy Dargan. You don't know why that's a.
Nergigante is just what we call ourselves in private.
So, is Grimm's character a mythical creature?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And we have the salamander is a mythical legendary.
Yep. No, that's a mythical legendary spirit.
Ah, nice.
It's not even a monster at that point.
I feel
'Cause-
like the best one for purity would be Mothman, because it seems that the Diggy Dargan has multiple elements. So I don't know if it was that would be pure enough.
She's
Thinking
got
about
multiple
my
elements. So does the so does many things.
Hmm.
Beholders
Do you see what I'm
are
trying
legendary.
to get for this though? It's the pure catalyst. So I'm trying to figure out who would best be fitted. Because each one of our party members are going to get one of these catalyzers. At least that's my
Right,
plan.
but unfortunately, you're looking at no one in the party is a single element.
Right,
not
besides the salamander,
Mm, The
the spirit.
salamander's not even monstrite. They're a spirit.
But they have a dungeon monster core, right?
You're not sure?
Interesting. I wonder why they spawn at the menagerie. They didn't.
They may spawn at human temples. You don't know.
Okay.
Need help.
Yeah, like, girl, I get you.
Okay. The beholder, he's a pure element right now.
True, but I don't like him that much, so.
You are not a pure element. You are darkness wind.
Dream.
Dream, yeah. So
Ace is a pure element.
he is, yeah. He's an earth element.
Just Earth?
Just Earth.
But you're not a legendary creature, though. But what I could look for your.
I see how it is.
Let me finish. Right now, you're not a legendary creature, but you could be. So I'll look for creatures that evolve from the Skellerman monster class.
I'm gonna have you roll me two things. One, willpower to flip through the number of pages in your book. As you go through the book, it's just like the deeper you go in, the heavier the pages get.
I'll roll bone cone with this too.
Oh,
Nice.
a little bit of both.
All things.
There is quite a few. Skeletons can become mummies, which are super rare class. Skeletons can become liches, which are legendary class. Skeletons can evolve into actually quite a few things. They can evolve into a reaper, like a literal grim reaper.
I remember that was one of your options for late game, but I don't think it is right now, is it? Out of character?
Yeah. Your bone coin will flip you over to a page that is so heavy you physically can't lift it, because it has Zeki's seal on it.
Oh, I see. Balance in all things.
If you move the whole chapter, you can turn it.
Right.
But that page weighs down every other page as part of the chapter.
Okay.
Which means there's classes and bloodlines that you can earn, inherit, or be given that Zeki is.
Zeki approved.
Yeah. And you check the back part of the book, or the middle part of the book. There's one section, or couple words. Each chapter, these micro chapters of secluded information, each have each of the gods' symbol and this beautiful scrawling panoramic scenic page, like one you would see out of a really old Bible, where they ink a beautiful mural. But yeah. And then there is a bunch of smaller ones Those pages you can't lift either, but they're only guarding 1 or 2 pages instead of like a whole chapter of like 30. Yeah. The art's been cracked and defaced, so probably the old gods. But they hold a couple classes and bloodlines that are, well, they hold on to them. Right. What little power they have left.
Alright.
Yeah. There's quite a few things Skellerman can become. It's a little mind-boggling.
How much fatigue does that give me?
3.
3?
Yeah. Use the bone coin, rolled right down the middle. You weren't able to access quite a bit of info, so it wasn't as trying, but as you learned about your book.
Yeah. Did the do you want to learn about monsters thing come up at all after I was reading that, or?
You were looking specifically for Skellerman evolutions, but you weren't looking for a single type of evolution. Okay. So you want to learn about monsters actually became the chapters that are locked. Because, hey, you want to learn about monsters, it's kind of like, oh, the gods can literally seal specific evolutions, bloodlines, abilities, classes, jobs behind their mantle. That's really good information.
Fucking big walls.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's that downtime action then. You just reading through those. Sleeping and... does sleeping while doing this counteract the fatigue, or do I still have it in the morning?
No, you still have it in the morning. And if you use something that would cause fatigue in sleep, it's counterproductive.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right.
I was
cooking.
Just for net 0.
So you maxed out your cooking?
Yes, I got my 4 checks.
Okay. Do on farming, more reading on monsters. What are you reading about this time?
This time I'm going to do some entertainment for myself so I can try to get some fatigue loss, actually sleep through it.
Okay.
I'll pick up another novel this time, a history novel on monsters.
Okay. We starting at the beginning, or you just picking up a random one?
I'm picking up a book and trying to get through it in 6 hours. Because if the book is 12 hours long, I can finish it in 6 because I read it times 2 speed.
Are you picking up at comprehensive or just some like a short?
I'm thinking of like a retelling of a history of someone else's perspective. Just like not something that's historical grade, like something you would pick up in an encyclopedia.
You could read it in 12 hours. It's not hard.
Yeah.
So, I'll give you 2 int for that one, but it doesn't give you a lot of relevant information that you don't already know. Because you guys have asked about the history of monsters from Notch, from Gaul. You've learned little bits and pieces of, collectively. Eastleigh found out quite a bit.
All I was trying to do really is see if, I guess maybe because it's not a monster in particular, maybe it's just more about history, maybe that's my issue. Anyway, here's, and...
Yep, so you got just 2 int. The book that you picked up, unfortunately, was a little too broad and generalized. A lot of it covered a lot of information, but some of it's not verified, but some of it does talk about how the Monstray literally almost took over the world upon their first arrival. Like they crashed in, and all the other races could not do anything. You killed it, and they didn't understand about the regeneration of monster cores, so if they slew a mighty dragon, that dragon was back in a year. And he was angry. So, there was a turnaround. A huge rout at one point, because they did figure out about the monster cores eventually. They were taking those cores and then stealing the powers of the Monstray.
Yeah.
And
got
then
more
heroes
powerful
started
because
to
of that.
come out
Yeah.
among their people. They were given quests, and they pushed them back to all the remote regions that humans couldn't overcome the terrain disadvantage.
Right.
And that is the current demarcation. Yeah, the humans almost routed Monstray entirely, and it wasn't until that the Monstray were so potently invigorated with the terrain and elemental advantages of specific areas on the continent that the humans are like, if you step out here, we're going to kill you all, but we can't go in there because you'll kill us all. So this is now the borderline, and the desert is one of them. So that's why it gives you two int, because you learn some stuff, big learning. But other than that, it wasn't very informative.
I get 2 int or I get 2 int rolls?
No, you just get 2 int
Oh,
plus
sweet.
2.
I wasn't expecting to get any int at all. Thanks.
No, it was informative, but it's not verified information. But with what you know logically, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
When Monstray have a environmental advantage, and the environment is extremely lethal and hostile towards creatures that aren't geared for it, yeah, humans, they're not. They're gonna stop unless they have a quest for it. And if there's no quest, they're not gonna. There's it's not enough incentive to be so what's the word? Generous or self-sacrificing.
Right.
For the betterment of others. No way. So, yeah, that's the bad. Then we hop to working on farming.
Yeah, this will be actually farming the mushroom farm on the 2nd floor.
Okay, yeah, you started it. It's starting to doing
So,
pretty good.
my plan with those ones is I'm not gonna like till fields for it. My plan is
Well, you
I'm gonna
can't
make-
because they need very specific, like you put them in their own little rooms.
I was thinking about making like you know how you have grain bags and stuff?
Yes.
I was thinking about weaving grain bags in a sense and filling them with the soil of the 3 types and wood chips, and then doing my sporification and like making bags, so then I can like rip them open and then have the mushrooms grow out of them and then harvest them that way.
You just put them in troughs or pits.
Yeah, instead of just like, tilling a field and growing
Are you
crops.
doing this for your special mushrooms, or is it just the normal mushrooms? Because you can get normal mushrooms to just grow. And
I'm making my own mushrooms for this. I'm using my sporification to. I use as wounds for myself, and because I have regeneration, I can just get them back. So.
Sure. Yeah, you have quite a bit of mushrooms. Grow very quickly. For that one pit that you have to dig, line with special stone, and then you put the tri-element in there, and you make like a little swampy environment for the you have to put the rotwood in there for certain special mushrooms. That requires a lot of prep.
I won't be. The thing is, I need the seed before I can do that anyway. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I
just figured that would be a good way to work on farming. And
you can have a bag per hour, so each DHA is 3. So you have 15 bags that you're growing mushrooms out of.
Excellent.
You're helping the crystal crabs or craps?
Yeah, with the craps. We're gonna play some craps while we work on our dome.
Okay.
This is the moon dome,
Mhm.
so we can get some moonlight in.
Okay.
I can just
They don't
use-
really need any help. You already built them a wireframe to work around.
Okay.
They're just really slow.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I thought it would be helpful. But if it's not helpful, I'll just like.
Well, it's not much you can do. They're literally
out with
growing the crystal using their spit.
Yeah, sounds good.
Kind of like the way wasps build nests
Mhm.
and bees. That's what they're doing with crystals. What do you want to do instead?
Instead, I will. I'll work on making some bags with weaving then. So I'll just put one downtime action towards a weaver job class. Or job, trade, weaver. There we go. I'll put one downtime action towards that, so I can just get some bags ready.
Reading about monsters.
Yes. This time it's going to be it's going to be another romance between two monsters. Yeah.
Okay. There's quite a bit. Are you looking for a legendary story, or are you looking for something more kind of well-known but not so spectacularly, blessed creatures?
Yeah, I'm not looking for anything. I'm looking for a monster I've never heard about.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't have to be legendary. It just has to be a monster that I don't have information on.
Alright. Roll me 1d100.
This is luck.
Yes.
And the moonshine
Yes,
luck.
it is. Okay.
I got my fate point back, but that's a bad luck.
That's what happens.
Oh well.
Okay. Still. Yeah, you're gonna find you're actually gonna find you're not sure if it's your lord's story. But it certainly sounds like it.
Oh, with the djinn and the mummy.
Yeah, and the mummy.
Whose perspective is this from? Is the question.
It's uncertain because it flips around here
Okay.
and there.
All right.
It's actually a little bit of an embarrassing read, especially with Dave's Vault, and you have to shut it a couple times and be like, I can't see my lord in such a just depressed and state. Because at one point, he hadn't told you, but he actually was a slave to the genies at one point. He got caught up and surprised in a moment of weakness, and they put a slave collar on him. But he was at the pyramids, so he dug around, and instead of giving the genies their gems, he stole all the best gems. And there's a reason why he was wealthy, and he wasn't entirely truthful about how or why. But this actually shows you why he's so wealthy, and he was able to open up a stint at the bank and have a bank account that can afford a loan of the size that he got.
And then he paid himself back.
Yep.
To get out of the slavery debt.
No, he just one day took the collar off.
Oh, okay.
Because it never affected him. Because he served at the Great Pyramids. They don't use collars. They use power words. And he was a manager, and even a low-level one, which means the power words to break objects or control people whose you infuse the inscription on, so they have to obey.
Right.
He just he's more experienced, but he played along, and He stole like treasure grade gems. He even has a couple divine grade he ended up collecting. You're reading through, he actually at one point stole what is called a heart of a mountain.
It's like a mountain's core or something
Yep,
along
mountain's
those lines.
core. And that with the mountain's core can tell you where all the wealth within the mountain is.
Okay.
So he's filthy rich. Like, he spent years doing this. And he always turned in whatever he could. But he always kept the best. And one day he walked out. And they're like, go back in. He was like, no. Mummy curse. And they're like, oh, fuck. No fuck.
Okay. Susie.
You can only read 2 DTA worth, and that's at like half speed because it's so embarrassing.
Right.
You kind of like read it, and this is because Deus Vult. Because this kind of sometimes you have to like pull it away or read it at distance because it's, at one point he played the respectful slave, like, yes, master, of course, yes, I it was my mistake. How could I mislabel gems? I'm such an idiot. And it's just like, no, I don't want to see that side of him. I don't want to see him grovel. This is the worst.
I just need to pretend that this isn't him. That's all. Like, I'll just have moments where it's like, yeah, this is just some other mummy.
He's got some serious protagonist vibes, like some serious MC wuxia novel vibes in this, because he always gets the better of these, genies.
Yeah.
Because it is a boring job. This is a punishment job for genies, being a slave master.
Yeah.
They don't want to be here. The only benefit they get is as long as they meet quota, some of the gems can be pilfered or overlooked to the slave masters. It's the only incentive they have. They just embezzle a little bit. No one really cares because the amount of gems that come out of these mountains is truckloads every day. And gems, crystals, Aether Gems. It's crazy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so he's really wealthy, apparently. Or was, at one point. And then you have to put the book away. It's like,
I wake up and I'm like, oh, that was a bad dream.
Yeah, bad dream. Alright, farming. What do you want to do with rot spirit?
So I've been keeping the rot spirit in the mushroom farm.
He sneaks out.
He sneaks out?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I guess me taking care of him is just like putting him back sometimes.
Yeah, it does. He sticks around until, he kind of wanders out occasionally. Sometimes he wanders back, like a cat.
Mm-hmm. Try to see if there's any synchronicity for the mushrooms and the rot spirit's presence in the room. So I just wanted to...
Well, the rot spirit makes the decay and fermentation 1,000 times faster. And you basically at one point, because he was doing that tick, 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 boing,
and then boing.
For hours. And you basically got to watch a bag that you filled with all that stuff start to ooze and, stain the burlap. Mushrooms grow rapidly and then die in a matter of 6 hours.
So they die as in I can't cut them off fast enough to...
if you don't cut them, then they'll just decay and rot. Like they're... Because he also rots the stuff in the bag to the point where it's not really... it turns to dust.
Alright, so what I'm getting is that he's better used for like a fermentation like vinegar or alcohol or something along those lines.
Yes.
Because if he's going to take away the usage of the mushrooms, there's no point in making mushrooms. Because like what is it called? like the giant colony inside the bag is supposed to be able to like reproduce those mushrooms. But if it like eats everything up, then I don't really kind of okay. So I'll put him somewhere else, like maybe
as long as you expose him with like a specific amount of time and then move him.
Yeah,
it can accelerate stuff.
Right.
But if you keep him focused on something, especially if he sits on top of something, that's the worst. Do not let him sit on things.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if he sits on things, especially like objects that like a book or like even an item,
right,
he'll start to corrode it and break it down. It's kind of weird. He almost has a temporal element involved. Almost, maybe.
Temporal as in time?
Yep.
Okay.
He accelerates things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you keep him on something, or if he focuses on something and he starts to do the tick, 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 that means he's working his ability.
Okay.
And if he does it for too long, then, well, it's counterproductive at one point.
All right, so I guess I'll be spending more downtime actions on keeping the rot spirit occupied, or just putting him to places that, so I can work with it instead of it working against me. So I'll stop.
You just gotta keep an eye on him. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are my 4 days, so now I'm able to go outside.
Read about monsters.
Yeah. I'm going to try the same thing again. I'm trying to get more information on a new monster types, and I want to get more...
Roll for it.
Sure. I'll use May the Moon Shine Upon You. Don't get my fate point back, but it's 50-50.
It's kind of a David and Goliath type of thing. Like, one's really, really small, and one's monstrously big.
Right.
Yep. It's not a romance, but it's a bonding of two entities that have such kinship between each other. They're basically family. And it's about a living mountain and a little fern sprite.
Okay.
And the living mountain is sad that, he's just rock. And there's nothing special about him. And the fern sprite spends years and years and years eventually cultivating growth on the mountainside, with the living mountains help to shield the little fern sprite, and eventually becomes this beautiful, lush mountainside filled with all sorts of wonderful plants, and it's a very touching story.
Okay.
It's not a romance, but it's a really close, like, familial bond that they kind of get. Because living mountains are kind of a unique species. They don't come from a dungeon.
Yeah, they're formed naturally.
They're formed naturally, and they need a heart of a mountain.
Right, they need that core.
Yes, it's a different type of monster core.
Right.
They are technically their own dungeon. And monsters and critters can spawn on the dungeon, or on the face of, or inside the mountain. And it's not technically a territory either. It's just things just become. Usually it's all really small stuff.
Or
like
symbiotic
sprites.
stuff.
Mm-hmm. Symbiotic stuff.
Very cool.
Scary part, if you ever piss off or irritate a living mountain, you are fighting an actual mountain. It will get up and it will just flatten you.
Okay, good to know.
There are tales that living mountains, or people saying like that mountain moved.
Wasn't there a second ago? Like, it
Wow.
wasn't. How did it move? Watch it.
This
Yeah.
is some monstrous shit. Yeah, it's literally the mountain was like, oh, for some reason it wants to be there, and it literally will get up and move.
How many legs does a mountain have?
You're not sure.
Like a big turtle? Is it like a little centipede?
It
Is it
might
like
just
people
literally
legs?
drag itself over. You're not sure. It may just do
Like a big
slide.
slug?
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Like a slug just kind of scrape its way over, making just all sorts of racket, leveling everything in its path, and then it goes, "This is good," and then stops.
Okay. Accept this answer.
Good.
Some
would
mountains actually get up and they form giant golems with legs, and they just move over, and then they sit down cross-legged, and they kind of take a thinker's pose, and eventually they form a mountain again.
I was just imagining some Mushi stuff. The mountain spirit, but
So, does that make volcanoes the pimples of the earth?
What about geysers? Or is that just a gushing flesh wound?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man.
It's a water
like-
blister.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well, the magma is pus, and the waters that clear substance.
This is enough. This is enough.
Okay. So let's. How many more weeks do you have? Jesus Christ.
so if what you're saying is true, I got 2 weeks more to do. So
All right,
over
start
to
writing
Allie.
them down.
Yeah.
Allie, you're flying around, screaming outside.
E.
All right. Yeah, what they want? Literally 6 DTA flying around the dungeon's territory. So you're outside, screaming and scaring anything he can find.
Yeah, I just
All right.
hated being in there. I wanna play day.
Okay. Yeah. You go to sleep. What do you do during
Fun
sleep?
day. I'm just gonna sleep.
Well, you dream. You that's the thing. Sleeping is dreaming,
Okay.
and dreaming means you are insomnium.
Okay. Do
does
insomnia
insomnia?
sleep?
Yeah, he can. He can. Basically, what you guys do at that point is you kind of insomnium just kind of goes into hibernation, and you just dream normally.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do on the first day.
Okay.
I'm just gonna have an Indrid day.
Okay.
All about Indrid today.
Okay. I'm gonna roll 3 1d100 because you were screaming for 6 DTA, which is that's 18 hours. Okay. Gull at one point comes out, literally out of the dungeon, arms on hips, like, Indrid, could I have a moment?
What?
What
What do you want?
Is there necessary for you to take that tone with me, miss?
Yes.
I understand that you need this. All I'm going to leave you with is I pray the illusion array is enough to handle what they will attempt to lock onto your noise.
It will be. You've got this. I believe in you, Dad.
He just turns around, arms still on hips, and just walks back in, shaking his head. Just.
Indrid goes back to scream.
All right. So, I'm gonna roll a 1d10 because I got a roll that was bad enough.
Oh.
On a 1d10, there are 2 assets that you do not want me to roll. So we're
Okay.
gonna go to that map. All right, world map. All right, there we go. So the world map. If we scroll in, So there's the Kagar nest and the menagerie. The sky is going to open up, and there is going to be a solar beam that is going to be fired. So if I roll 1 or a 2, 1 is going to be the menagerie is going to get hit. 2 is the Kagar nest. If it is 3 through 10, they miss.
I do anything
Did you piss
to...
off the raised pyramid?
No.
I don't know
that
what
is
I've
the-
pissed off.
That is the apostles still lurking around the outside of the illusion array.
Mm.
You
Can
were
I
warned
do
about
anything
this.
to help this roll along? Fate points?
He's already missed. They missed wildly.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
was
You
gonna
watch the
say-
sky open and completely glass and scorch. Where this black circle's gonna be.
I'm
And
gonna
it
go
is that
skating
big.
on it.
It is that big.
I'm gonna go skate on it. It's my new skating rink.
Do you immediately go there?
Yeah, that was exciting. I want to go check it out.
So,
Okay.
Indrid,
Okay.
before you go to the location where the enemy has decided to make a hole in the ground, can you wait a bit before you go?
No,
Why?
All right.
because I'm sexually frustrated.
You're sexually frustrated,
I've been cooped up in the dungeon so long.
but you've been screaming this entire time.
Okay.
That's why
So you go over.
I need something
and
different to do.
All right. You go over and you're skating along, and you're unfortunately your feathers start to catch fire because it is so hot and is a completely reflective surface in the dungeon at high noon. You catch fire.
Okay, I'm gonna leave.
All right, you're gonna catch fire. You will take. You lose 2 wounds as you start to burn. I need you to roll me an agility test, please. Put yourself out.
So Matt,
My agility is not very good.
Okay. 9 million.
I'll
All right.
reroll.
Okay.
Ah!
All right. You put yourself out. Just. You're all singy. Ugh. Back to screen.
I think after that, I think then I'm gonna go take a nap.
Okay.
It's been a long day of screening. Hey,
Perfect.
I got my fate point.
You did? Yes, Million.
oh, I was gonna ask if on a 3 it could hit the witch's hovel.
You already rolled anyway, so.
Didn't matter at that point.
Okay. All right.
I lost 2 wounds. And
Yeah. So, well, you don't permanently lose them. You took damage.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you can regen.
I might go to Susie for some first aid.
If you
Okay.
just go into the dungeon, you have regen.
Oh.
You don't
Yeah.
even need me.
I'll do that.
Yep. All right. You go do some scaring. You do 5d2 sleeping, reading a book. Okay. I think that completes your sanctuary book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you did 100
Uh,
DTAs already?
Yeah.
I mean, she
Nice.
gets a
I know
roll.
it's pretty
per-
nice. 3. It's
Yeah.
3 for times 3 pretty much for downtime action.
Yes. You spend 1 DTA wondering about the stars, wondering about the light and the dark, appreciating the outside. Very good. Very good. It's very nice. I'm gonna. Okay, so I rolled pretty good. So at one point, 2 of the stars turn into these big red discs. They stare back, and it's
I'm
gonna
gonna
try and
assume
spook
this is-
you.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna assume this is something to do with those mages who shot that big light, and I'm gonna be pretty spooked.
I'll have you roll willpower test because those big red burning eyes in the dark stare at you from the sky.
Well,
Okay. And then the thing screes at you, and you go, ah! Ah! And then you stop. You're like, why was I scared? And then the big eyes chuckle at you and go away.
I want to try flying towards them.
They're gone. They disappeared. Like the eyes closed.
Hmm.
You know those eyes. Those are basically Mothman eyes. One of the great fears spooked you.
This guy is a Mothman.
One of the great ones. You were staring up, thinking about the lights in the dark, and it was like, yes, I am the spook in the dark with my glowing red eyes. I can scare anyone. And it scared you for all of like 3 seconds, and then you're like, what? I wasn't scared. Oh.
I'm scared of the thunder right now. Very loud.
Did you see that lightning? It was so bright.
I just saw a flash though. I think you probably got a better view.
Yeah. So it briefly spooked you, and then it laughed and left.
I will look for it some more another day.
Other night, all right. And then, all right, begin building the sanctuary.
You go to Notch, not Notch. Do you go to your dream mage for this?
Well, I've already read her book that she gave me. I don't see that she can be a whole lot more help.
Okay.
Probably just gonna
All right,
go
so
off on my own.
go ahead and you're gonna get a talent. It's gonna be dream construction. You're gonna get another talent called dream permanence, and a third one called dream anchoring, which is what you learned from the book. You also get another tick mark in Oniromancy.
Dream construction, dream permanence, and dream. What was it? Sorry?
Anchoring. I did those in the reverse order, actually, that you need to use them.
That's okay.
You get one extra check mark of Oniromancy. Sami, yeah, you read that in her little sanctuary too. So, okay, so you go outside. Basically, you need to create an anchor. Now, an anchor can move. You can move it around the dream because it's not a permanent lock-in. The anchor is for you. It's kind of the foundational step to building a sanctuary. Because without the anchor, it can be dispersed, and all your hard work will go away.
Okay.
Permanence is what you, because now you have the land to build on. Then you construct, or you use a different type of construction during the dream, and you basically make it a permanent something that exists. So, yeah. Anchoring, construction, permanence, and then, yeah. So we're gonna roll for Insomnium. 10 willpower tests.
And okay.
And that'll be a basic construction.
Ooh.
Okay. Insomnium, not you.
Oh.
Remember, because the willpowers are inverted. You want to fail
Yeah.
willpower tests, not pass them.
I get you. Gotcha. I always forget that I have another character sheet.
Yeah. Perfect.
Wow, it's a pretty good fail.
Yeah, that's an amazing fail. That is some solid stuff. All right.
Solid failure.
Then just roll 90, 100 after that. Yeah, just don't roll a 1.
100s are good though. 100s are
100s are great. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah, you construct your home. Frustratingly, it's a little basic in comparison to Somni's. Hers is a big tower that always has more space inside than what, like a TARDIS. It's always bigger. This polygon with these beautiful stained windows.
Mine's spookier, right?
You have a cocoon. Kind of this amorphous mass that can hide anything within. What horrors will come out from within this cocoon?
Spoopy cocoon. I'm into it.
Okay, so you have level 1 sanctuary. And in level 1 sanctuaries, you need to give it 1 power. And then you get to give it a single word that helps give it permanence. Like what because you need to make your construction and your anchor permanent against the fleeting dream, and the entities that come and try and take it apart or invade it. So you need to give it 1 word for the permanence to latch onto and 1 power.
Okay. Can I have a second to think about that?
Yes, absolutely. We'll come back to you. All right, back to Grimold. Grimold.
Yes, sir.
You got your stuff.
All right.
Got your little things.
Quick question about those things. Well, they just do I need to modify them at all, or are they kind of ready for use?
Probably pretty ready for use. They have such a small aura attached to them of power that it's just you're not sure how you'd modify them.
Okay.
But they're not detrimental to what you want.
Okay, so while the Gecko warriors are sleeping, I'm going to sneak into their camp, place the totems in the respective areas by the tents, and then draw on a nearby cave wall, basically outlining sort of a ritual of sorts.
Okay.
And then I'm going to leave and just see what they do with it.
I need a stealth test, because you've trained your Gecko warriors to always have patrols and guards. They don't ever... the whole camp never goes to bed altogether. They always have some sort of night guard. Perfect. Yes. They have no fucking clue. You literally put the thing in there, the totem. They still don't notice. Yeah. That was 1 DTA. You still got 4 left in your day.
I'm going to continue meticulously mapping the dungeon.
2nd floor?
Yep.
Okay. That one. 75 DTA to map the 2nd floor.
Okay. I will use my remaining ones
4.
to start.
Do you sleep?
Yes.
So that'll be either 2 or 3 DTA, depending on how many you want to sleep.
2 sleeps.
So 2 to mapping, 2 to 2 to sleeping. Okay. Next morning, the geckos wake up. Oh my gosh! The Great One has bestowed us totems of power! And there's a big flurry of action.
Did they notice the cave drawings?
Oh yes. Gekko-san pushes his 2B shamans, the ones that made the most progress, and is like, figure it out. Or else. I would hate to, I'd hate for you to disappoint me, oh shaman to be. they will begin. What do you want to do for the rest of your day? I'm gonna try and blitz you through several days worth of stuff because I know you only got a couple hours to play.
Yeah, I'm nearing the end of my time here. I guess I'm just gonna continue mapping the dungeon, and then I'm just gonna take 2 DTA sleep cycles.
Okay, so you want to do 2 DTA. Do you want to devote 1 DTA to your geckos every day?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3. So you got 5 DTA per day. We're gonna get you 6 more days. So we're gonna complete week 5 for you. So
Okay.
yeah, 5 times 6. There you go. So 30 DTA. Almost halfway done with the second floor. All right. You are now officially in week 6. Your geckos are. You have your first shaman. He has successfully completed it. He's actually has blue scales, and they will give him tattoos. Let me make some rolls. Wow, goodness. His blue scales are a little shiny, and occasionally he builds enough charge by walking around. Little aether arcs zip around him.
That's cool.
He rolled a single digit. He is going to get a monster core. Your first shaman, the Great Shaman.
Nice.
Yes. The scholars are still working. They did not roll particularly bad, but they didn't roll that well because they need a single digit to get their monster core by completing a special action.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Your geckos grow in power. Do you want to give them Aethers? Because once they have a monster core, they can evolve. Or do you want to wait until you have enough leaders to grant them more Aether to evolve?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till the next ritual.
Okay. Okay. Because you only need your warrior scholar leader to be a thing. So I'm going to give them a roll each week.
Yep.
Until the first warrior scholar rolls a single digit, and then you will have your 3 leaders.
Nice.
Okay. Do you want to jump ahead another week? That means you will be preoccupied, and the others can't help you with anything, or you can't help them.
No, I'm fine as is.
All right, thank you, Taylor. Go hang out with your friend. Thank you for playing.
Have a good one.
See you guys.
Be safe.
Be safe.
Have a good week.
You too, guys.
Okay. Let's see. Then we'll jump to Char. You are day 1 complete, so you're on the next day 2 of week 5.
Yep.
There was a rumble outside. The world got immensely hot. Like you guys felt like you were in an oven for a brief moment, and then the whole dungeon rumbled. And then about an hour later, Injured comes back in, charred and burnt.
And happy.
Yeah, and happy for some reason. The only response from Lord Gull was he just shook his head, just like he has a headache.
Well, she's a troublemaker.
What'd I do?
Let's see here. Eatsley is probably. In such limited time actions, he's probably going to Easy will find the beholder.
He's inspecting his. He's on the 3rd floor. He's inspecting his hall, and you actually see his series of eyes start to laser away at, the room, and he's making it nice and sheer instead of, roughly dug. He's also making some sort of marks for, interior design, where things are supposed to, where he wants to go. So he's basically doing a pencil drawing with lasers into the rock. And he's like, it's not gonna work. Or should I put that over there? Gonna need some ventilation for the fumigation for the. Yes. Huh. Interesting. Oh. As one of the eyes does spin around to look at you. Oh, financier! You've arrived. What do I owe such a honored visit from you?
Oh, I believed you wanted something from me.
I need a few things. Not maybe particularly from you, but what you gatekeep me from. If it was from you, that may be a little different. But most of the things you do have are your lords instead, I think.
You think?
So they would be things from your lord that you've been given permission to delegate over. To be precise, technically precise.
Technically precise.
Mm-hmm.
I have a superior Aether Gem that you are wanting.
Yes. Bigger the better, too. But, we'll see.
It's a small grade. Small size.
Shame. But, it'll do. For the first one, at least.
You do have a new body, so I believe the term is learning to walk before you run.
That's for idiots. Also, I don't walk or run. I don't have legs.
It's a simile.
As I said, that's for people who don't know better.
So,
you think I don't know the best way to evolve?
Oh no, I think with your years of experience, you know the perfect ways of evolving and what exactly you want when you evolved.
So, yes, great. Aether Gem.
Yes. I want information.
Okay, alright. The gem, do you have it on you?
I'll pull it out.
Good. So, what you want to know?
I want to know a way that you collar demons. Clearly,
not worth a superior Aether Gem. Not even close. Surely. Surely you could do far better than that. This information, as he thinks about it, one of his eyes twitches and then almost like sneezes, and there's a piece of paper with a list of stuff. That's what it's worth.
Ah, I see. This is what you value it at.
Yes, because it involves you having to do a series of tasks. It also involves very specifically not doing very particular actions, not particularly going about certain ways. Because if you do any of those, you will never be able to collar demons. It's a process, and I have to explain every single step. Now, if you just want me to screw you over and kill any goodwill we will have in the future between each other, I could take your gem and give you a succinct, precise answer with none of the steps involved and let you ruin your chance of actually doing it. But I will take the Aether Gem, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah. There are a very large number of ways for you to fail. And if you do any of them, your chances at the future are done of getting that thing. Actually, even without the specification, your chances of the future are done is actually very accurate. Death, permanent death involves. Yes.
And why would I ever want to color a demon?
Well, I might happen to have some gold filament that I could throw your way if you're willing to, actually fill out my little list. It's not that bad. It's just a little list.
Oh, I know more than a list, but you will take a look at it.
Your heart drops. You know nothing of any of these objects. I mean, even one of the items, just the name of it hurts. The tricolored princess diamond. It's just like, okay, these are all near unique or unique items. But that'll tell you all the different ways that I have discovered. Turns out it's gold filamented. The ways I've figured out how to color demons.
I see.
I was a master in demonology. I even learned their magic.
Fascinating. Are you sure it's a gold filament still?
Well, I'm not going to try to make it, because you easily have the power to take it from me. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is. But
That's
back in the
true.
day, that's what I figured out.
That's fair. And I'm not willing to pay for something unless I know for sure it's gold filament. Because you and I both know the problem with gold filaments.
Yes. It's like playing the stock market.
Yes.
Is that still around? Do the humans still do that?
I believe so.
Foolish creatures. All I need to do is push down psionically on the little scale they have in their economy, and it just completely self-destructs. It's very fun to watch.
That being said, I'll hand this back to him.
No, keep that. You'll need those for me in the future.
For you in the future. I see. You plan not to leave this dungeon?
Well, not until I get a few evolutions under my belt.
Let's see. In that case.
Also, somebody built me a floor for me to do my researches. And it would behoove me to hide under the umbrella and security of this dungeon until, well, I get the certain things I need done before I move on. Or take over, one of the two. We've already established how it was going to happen. 2 champions, I have to defeat both. Then I get to challenge your lord.
This is true.
But I get to pick when I do the challenge. Probably won't be for some years. I am a very patient beholder, you see.
Patience is the key to victory.
Also, knowing when to act is also key to victory. So, pick another thing that's worth around there. Anything involving demons you can't afford.
Fair enough. What is this Aether Gem worth to you? Because you gotta understand, it's the first generation's job to make sure that you grow. And I could just tell everyone that you're not allowed to have any superior Aether Gems.
Well, if that's the case, I suppose you just don't want my help. And I know many of your little friends have reached certain points in certain quests or things that were bestowed to them. And, well, if I'm not allowed to evolve, even if I wanted to, I can't help them. Too bad.
Mhm.
So that would be counterproductive for you in the dungeon, so don't do that. As to what it's worth to me, superior grade, small sized, not really worth a lot. I'd say a single tidbit of information or a clarification to something you already know of middling importance on the continent. That's what that's worth. It's a superior gem, small sized. They're quite common. If I could leave the dungeon safely, I could get my hands on quite a few within a day. But
I'll tell you what. Tell me where I can find more, and I'll give you this Aether Gem.
that
You said
actually
it's-
is quite beneficial to both of us. So yes, I'll answer that question. Do you have an orrery? Something I could use to look out into the world. A crystal ball would work. Any scrying object.
I pull out a map.
Oh, good, delicious. Okay. Looking. Feathered Raptor Den would have a lot of them. They like shiny things, you see. You could probably find about 50 or so in there, maybe a flawless grade. They're rather vicious. So send your dragon. He'll be able to bully them.
What about me? I want to bully them.
The sub base, that Ascalon sub base, will have the humans like to corral their wealth into one single spot. So if you attack their reserve, you could steal some stuff. But out of all the places that you could find the most, probably the forested oasis here on the map. I'd say there'd be 50 to 100 squirreled away. Mostly because water.
See.
Did you come across anything strange while you went there?
No, but we did not have time. We've been a very busy dungeon.
Be very careful when you get there. You never know what might be hiding beneath the water. Because water in the desert, especially this desert, you'll notice that there's always some sort of critter, monster or whatever, making sure that the water remains, because otherwise the desert will drain all of the water very quickly. It needs a guardian, a protector, a foci, something. Some sort of power to keep the water there. A very large clump of aether can be that anchor to keep the water in the water hole. And there are a lot of critters, specifically, that don't eat or consume the aether crystals. They absorb the energy that comes off of it through the water. A lot of water creatures, water element type monstray and others, absorb ambiently. It's actually healthier to do it that way, but it slows out. Yes.
Understood. And finally, there's one other thing you may want.
Oh, as he takes the gem that you gave him.
I have a supreme grade, medium-sized chaos gem.
Okay, that's dangerous. But yes, that would be very interesting.
For
you. That's very good for me. Yes. Mid-sized? Mid-sized. Yes. Oh. Did you know there's a limit on the quality for chaos gems?
No.
If you ever find yourself in the presence of a low grade large size or load size Chaos Gem. That's the ticket. That's the best one you will ever find.
Why is that?
Chaos Gems are, the more chaotic they are, the less perfect they'll be. You see. A little bit of free tidbit of information for you. So the higher the quality of the Chaos Gem, the less it's worth. Humans value it though. They love to control chaos, and the higher the quality, the more controlled the chaos is. You see. That'll be very valuable to a human, but if you're going to give me a chaos element object, no higher than a medium grade.
I see.
It's not worth anything to me. Mid-size, that's not so bad. Humans will take that to a human market, and a good even price for that should be about 7 to 8 gems of small-sized, same quality, or 4 same quality, same size, or you can get a flawless small size trade for it. Humans love that shit. They hate chaos. So controlled chaos is like very spicy. They love that. Continue. That was a good play. Just see, this is where knowledge and wisdom and experience come in. You thought it was valuable. It's valuable, but not to me.
No, but I'm learning more about you as a customer.
I like the best, or near to the best it can be. What else do you have for me? I do love our banter. You're the only one who comes to talk to me.
And maybe it's because I'm the only one that is cordial enough to deal with egomaniacs.
I do have a wonderfully large ego. You're correct. Please don't tell me this was the only thing you were trading. This would be boring.
Oh, if this is the only thing I was willing to trade, that it's different. But this still gives me the advantage of you not knowing what I have.
Touche. But let's not just make this about one trade.
No.
No, come on. Surely you're not that ill prepared to be in my presence and to converse and deal and spin tales and information. Come on. You're supposed to be a firstborn. Impress me.
What else could I retrieve from you? I'm gonna take a moment to go. 1 second. Does anyone else need information about quests or things that they are looking for?
Anything.
Titles, anything?
I have a title, but I don't think I'm like wanting information on a lot of it right now.
Yeah, I'm good.
Have I told you my title quest?
Yeah. They could actually tell you a lot about it.
No, I'm sure they could.
So that's what I was just curious about. Because if not, I'll keep asking my questions.
1 sec. Somebody's yelling at me.
How was everyone's week?
Pretty
Anyone?
good.
Okay.
Made it through it somehow.
That's the goal, isn't it? Make it through.
What about yourself?
It was alright.
So.
Okay,
Questions?
so as no one else seems to have ones except for me, we earlier discussed the talk of a stone. Do you remember it?
Remind me. I have many things in my mind.
Oh, and that is
For
fair.
clarifications and technicalities, because.
It is.
Oh, you mean the thing on the map that I pointed out to you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I know about that. What about it?
I'm gonna pull out the Sunstone lens.
Okay. A little bit interested. Not that greatly interested. Not for what you may be asking. Could me a little bit interested. Lenses are hard to make. And
That's true.
I see what you're trying to get at. I have a lot of eyes. You think it would be helpful for me. Maybe.
And then I'm going to pull out the Purified Fire Ruby. Superior grade. Small.
That one's worth a question. Put them together, now you're looking at something a little bit more... You got a little bit more juice to it.
Of course. Since we know your main eye likes to use Disintegrate, fire spells, Fire Ruby, a lens.
Okay.
I figured that'd be helpful for such a young one.
You do know Disintegrate's not a fire spell.
Man. It's a force spell.
You think it's a fire spell?
No, I know it's a force spell. But I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me.
Don't need to.
Fair.
Mm.
Then again,
All
are
right.
you actually using magic or you're using power for that?
Is that your question?
More curious banter.
No, I don't think I'll answer that one. For a price, I will.
Of course you will.
Alright, ask your question that you are going to want to trade those for.
Why is that stone so important? You said you had knowledge to this.
I do, yes. Why is the stone so important, period? Or is there a clarification?
Do you want the clarification?
Well,
Wow.
It's a little vague, so I'm going to give you a vague answer.
Why is it so important to Ziki?
That's the one. Because the stone has no aether in it. And you cannot bring objects like that for long into Ziki's domain. Each of the domains that belong to each of the gods is actually a subplanar dimension. Aether is not permitted beyond a certain amount of time in Ziki's domain. After a specific amount of time, if there is Aether, it is scoured and expunged, including everything that's attached to it, which means you and your monster core. That's why it's important. It has 0 Aether, and will never be able to have Aether.
Interesting.
It'll make you physically sick to be near it. There's your answer. And then he pulls the objects towards him.
Yeah, no, just let him have them.
See, this is fun.
I'll talk to you again later, young one.
Not young, older than you.
And then he's gonna walk off.
Alright, it's 1 GTA.
Yeah.
We got 7 more for your day.
After that, EC's going to continue writing. Spend 3 downtime actions writing, 2 downtime actions training people in the dungeon, and 2 DTA researching the box.
For the next name?
Yeah,
Okay. Are you going for another low-level name, or are you going for a bigger name?
we're going to go for a bigger name.
Okay. Do you have the other 5 days of the week you want to blitz through?
It's honestly going to be mostly the same.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. Go through that. I don't know if you reach a new name by the end of that. I don't think you do.
No, it's 50 for a medium.
Yes.
It's only 7 days. I'm putting 2 downtimes, so that's 14.
Okay. Yep, go ahead and make your progress. Do you complete anything that needs my attention?
I think I finished a second sentence. Let me double check. Because I said I was looking forward to that. So 4 times 7 is 28. Yeah. I got 55 on the my labor.
Nice. Very good.
So I don't know if that is the second sentence or not.
Okay. Well, the second sentence is actually rather important, because the language goes beyond just single sentences. Each sentence after that changes what the previous sentences say. So it is not until you have completely written everything down in each paragraph does that solidify into what the sale is being told.
Let's see.
Which means every single word and every single sentence in every specific order is so critical. You can say anything if you mess up. It'll change drastically. Fortunately, you can see what you're saying every time you write a word. If you read what you already have written, you can see what you've said instead. So it's as you go along. The message you're sending will change, and you can correct it. It is a language not meant for mortal minds. It is way too complex, unnecessarily complex in the extreme. So, the enlightenment you're actually going to receive only will come when you have written every last word successfully and properly. Because the message will not reveal itself until it is. There you go.
Yeah. Have you figured out how long this message is, or no? I was just curious.
You're still not sure. Because as you kind of look down, you're like, okay, I need to write the rest of this. And it's like, you still need to write another 30 sentences, you think? But your brain tells you give or take 5.
Okay.
Which doesn't make sense. The number of sentences should be stagnant, consistent. About 20 to 25 more. Or 25 to 30 more. Yeah.
Okay.
Give or take 5. And that's just you practicing.
Yeah. This is before you start carving.
But you gotta get that stone first. Which is way across the continent. It's a labor for a reason. Alright, so anything else that needs my attention for the rest of the week?
Oh, I'm gonna write the writ.
Oh, you're gonna write the writ?
I'm gonna write the writ. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna write my own.
A writ. Do you know what you need to write?
Is it? Because I did get a comprehensive. Like, I got his Bible. Is the Bible written in? Like, is there an example of the writ in there?
There's multiple examples of writs in there. And there are text in there that specifically extols and explains the significance of each writ.
I believe I need the writ of
passage. Yeah.
Yes.
Writ of passage. Yeah, it's literally in the book. You just have to transcribe it.
Yeah.
Which is using the same language as which you are currently working on for your math.
Yeah.
Fortunately, this one is only 10 sentences.
Next week. All the DTA for next week is writing that, which will count towards my labor, because I'll need a writ of passage when I take it down.
Yes, you do.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of... Hey! Your master's like, just fucking write it. And you're like, I'll math this out. Alright, that's your week. Alright, you are now in week 6 of 8. Let's move over to Million. Million, you here, buddy? Diggy Dargan. Alright, Diggy Dargan. You got
I'm a bit drained, though.
Well, let's finish out your week. Don't die on me.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We dig out the 3rd floor.
You've already done it. It's done.
Oh.
I told you. You only had 3 left. You finished the rest of your day. You got 6 days left in week 5. Or 6 days left in week 5. So that's quite a bit of DTA there, friend.
Well, I found a map that might be useful for it that I'll post, but
that doesn't mean you have to stop digging, because you can go on just a mining expedition, just mining to try and just
find precious minerals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So I want to be very clear.
Okay.
The illusion array encompasses this bubble or this bubble.
Okay. The illusion array, oddly enough, affects itself, but it actually affects all the way up to that yellow. Yeah, that yellow one.
Sweet.
But he doesn't want you leaving the purple ring. Unless you're Grimald. If you're Grimald, you can go anywhere within the yellow ring, because he has the illusion element and he gets the full protection of it. But he doesn't want you leaving the pink ring, because the apostles are still lurking about. So you can, and that's for the full 2 months, the 8 weeks. This is for security.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna expand the temple.
Okay. Actually, I will have a new ring for that one, because it actually is a bit... We're gonna make a yellow one. Or, sorry, click, circle, T, green. Because the ring actually centers around the crystal field in the first place. Yes, good. Needs to be way bigger. Actually, you know what? Let's just get rid of this, and we'll just copy paste the big ring and have it be a different color. That's technically what we're looking at. but instead it is completely centered around the crystal field. I think that's right. Fuck just happened? Yeah. So this lime green one is the crystal field illusion aura, which means you have a lot of very confused fire ants.
And probably a confused crocodile in there too.
Oh yes, very. Like anything caught in the green circle is a problem for, well, those people. Or for whoever's in it.
I will spend the entire week expanding the temple.
Okay. How big?
You know, Mr. Beholder Man is gonna have to live with the fact that this temple might be bigger than his entire section when I'm through with it.
You'll be asked by the greater water spirit, why? Why does it need to be bigger?
It doesn't, but because I can.
What are you gonna use in that space?
I'm thinking a specific bath section that's sectioned off for people for individuals.
So you want to make a bathhouse?
Well, part of it, yes. The other is in case, I don't know, maybe some of the kobold priests want to live here. I mean, we currently only have one big room, you know, might go make some more smaller living quarters.
Sure.
Ooh, new terminology.
Just as long as you're digging for a purpose. You know, you have a plan in your head. We don't want you digging because you want it to be better than someone else's. Okay? That is something that you need to always be wary of, that darkness. Doing something solely for the purpose of operating against another to show them that they are less than you know, to belittle their accomplishment or them as a person. And it's not something you should ever have in your heart when you want to do something in the name of the temple. We don't need to have a large temple. This is beautiful. This is, you know, this honors Nareem completely, what you've done, this small space. And you can expand temple space, but only if it's for the temple and not because you want to besmirch others. Because you must make the temple larger because it has to be bigger than that. You understand?
Sure.
Because that is a darkness and an evil. That is bad intent. And that's not actually in the name of the temple, that's in the name of you. But a bathhouse, that's wonderful. In fact, those waters will be blessed if done properly.
So here's the thing. Or actually, no, wait, he can talk now. So here's the thing. I don't actually know what a bathhouse is.
Giant pools of water that are heated that you can relax in, and they will rejuvenate your body, mind, and spirit.
You know, I'll actually put this on the back burner. I just recalled I need to go build the salamander somewhere to live.
And then you should, because he will start to do what he does best, and which is bring fire to the world.
I've already left.
You're like, all right. You build the salamander's little area. It'll cost you 2 DTA of digging.
Cool. Let me update this.
Salamander, he kind of looks at you with those little beady eyes as he's chewing on a big lump of coal. Num 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 num.
Do, 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 do,
And
do,
then
do,
he kind of gulps the big piece of coal down. His little midsection, bubbles outwards, kind of, and he just kind of curls up on himself because now he's in a food coma as he digests the coal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna his little living area will be on the equivalent depth of the second floor. Like I'm just gonna completely start a new digging project, like somewhere around here.
You know it cannot be on the same floor as the water temple. That's what you do know.
Yes. We're gonna put fire on top. Well, actually, hold on.
That's fine.
Char, how did you or how did Eatsley want to do this? It was
supposed to be the forges, and then under the forges was the salamander's room. Let's say all their heat goes up into the forges, and from the forges, you have
no. I meant for that temple bit.
What temple bit?
There was put him in a fire temple of some sort.
I mean,
I remember there was a discussion about on which levels relative to whose temple should be where.
Oh yes, no, you should have it on the opposite side of Nareem. Nareem's temple, so they're like away from each other. As far as fire, we were talking about having like putting a temple to the god of fire there, though we don't know who it is because Apollo's not the god of fire.
Okay, so where do you plan on putting your temple? On the first floor?
Yes, so my temple's on the first floor in my room.
Your official temple actually needs to be 10 floors down. Yes, because Zeke is the least honored and he is the least ranked, and but it's also you need hit closer to the underworld, which is you found out it's a subplane, so it doesn't exist on this, on the continent or the Aetherware at all. But it's the representation.
Mm-hmm.
So it needs to be the lowest of all temples. So if it is, if you're going to have a temple for all the gods in your home, that means 10 floors. But if you're only going to have a couple, it just needs to be the lowest. So it needs to be below Nareem's in depth.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was thinking we might go for like an inversion here, where it's like the lowest is at the top and the higher rank you are, the further down you go.
That is a big no-no, because if you try and put Apollo at the lowest, Apollo is going to burn you guys out.
Yeah, well,
because
thankfully
Apollo's temple must be under the sky. Like there can be nothing above it. Only the sky can be above it. And you're not even supposed to put a roof on his temple.
You know what, guys? Someone remind me when we're strong enough for me to just like dig a really deep ditch and put a temple to Apollo at the bottom.
Look, man, I won't say
no. Like there'll be nothing above it but the sky. But it'll be really deep down.
I mean, do you want to insult him?
Maybe. I more just want to see what would happen.
Well,
you would insult him.
Yeah.
By following his rulings on that to the letter of it, nothing being above it but the sky.
except for the giant walls
Oh well.
around it.
At
And
that
the fact
point,
that it would get
his
only
only
like
temple should be on
10 minutes of
mountaintops.
light.
I
Man,
mean,
do what you want.
I wonder if he'd be insulted if we put magnifying glasses on top of it.
again, that thing on Monday where you insulted the person, and then
Yeah.
they came over and smacked the shit
I know
out
what
of
I'm
you?
doing. I'm well aware. I just want to see how it plays out.
All right, so bleh.
Bleh. But yeah,
You dig out a room. That's what those two. Did I say 2 or 3 DTA?
is it 2?
Okay, that's 2.
To get 2 floors. 2 floors down, the forges would be effectively on the. Okay, no, it has to be 3 floors down if it has to be adjacent. So probably another DTA.
Okay, so 3. Go ahead and add that 9 to your digging. Go ahead and roll me the 3 D100 for your digging. Who knows what you find? Who knows what you find? You find a nice, cool piece of jade. It's small, slightly magical. About 5-pound rock.
5 pounds of jade.
Pretty good. It'll be middle quality jade. So,
Grade material?
yep,
Then.
it'd be a mid-grade material. I'd say size medium.
Okay.
Alright, and then you'll actually find about 10 pounds of sulfur. It does not taste good. Ugh. Nor does it smell good. But
Fire dragon.
Mm.
Perhaps the Desolator may enjoy it as a gift at some juncture.
maybe. It also might just be really smelly.
Maybe.
Alright, usually you spend 1 DTA towards the temple. So that would be 4. You usually spend 2 to sleep, so you got 1 left on your day. Oh, 2 left on your day, sorry. What are we doing?
Yeah, I was just putting down a marker for where I put this. Yeah. Alright. 1 DTA.
2.
2? I shall philosophize.
What are you philosophizing on?
I shall philosophize the
Why is-
nature of the
the nature?
name Diggy Darkin.
Alright, roll me that philosophy twice. You are a Dicky Dargan. Because Dargans, also known as dragons, dig.
They do.
And you are a very good digger. So that meant a good digging dragon is a Diggy Dargan. What makes a Diggy Dargan good at digging? Because you are good at digging. Yes. It's good. Very good. Very powerful.
Quite
Very
potent when one can dig their own dungeon.
Yes, they are a very powerful diggy dungeon. Would that make you a if you can dig a dungeon, does that make you a great diggy dargon? Or just a diggy dargon? What would require you to become a great diggy dargon?
No, I'm a diggy dungeon dargon.
Okay.
Triple D!
Alright. You have
Yeah.
made progress towards philosophizing.
Yep.
Okay. So let us
Work that mastery.
let us go to your next day. Actually, why don't you write out for me your other 5 days for week 5 of what you want to do. And we'll hop to Susie says, I actually see what he wrote for me, and we'll get through that very quick. I see what you also sent me, Allie.
Downtime action.
Both of those will work. Sleep 28. Scholastic Alchemy. Oh my goodness. Okay, 12 DTA. Yep. Boom. Sleeping's pretty nice, ain't it?
Well, when you have something to use it with.
Yep. 2d8 towards Scholastic. Okay, nice. Alright, cool. 60 TA for the third pip of farming. Resistance heat. I see what you're doing there. You're doing that moon darkness thing. Very good.
Yeah, I found I was able to get out of the house, so.
Herbalist. Scholastic Alchemy. Rat Sprite.
So for the Scholastic Alchemy, I'll be looking around in my area that I have available for this little, my quest I have for it. So that's pretty much what I'm trying to do with Scholastic Alchemy. Not alchemy, the herbalist job one.
Alright. I'll have you roll for her third pip of herbalist.
I don't even have the third pip yet, but I'm trying to get the second one and the third one by trying to do my job.
Well, you have a lot of plants in your dungeon to look. So basically, you would need to devote DTA towards your herbalist quest to go look for it. You wouldn't gain progress looking for it.
That's fine then. I was just hoping at both bang for buck, but if I can't, that's fine. So I'll be spending all those downtime actions towards trying to get that.
Like all.
Yes.
36.
Yes.
No, 40. Oh my gosh, that's 40. You're gonna spend all 42 looking for it.
Yes.
Are you sure you don't want to level up your herbalist beforehand?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Well, roll me a luck for each DTA you want to spend looking for it.
I'll do May the Moon shine on you for the first one. And the second one. That's all my fate points.
Phil, it's 8 DTA per day. You got 5 days. Do the math.
Thank you.
Here's the next day.
Well, they're not days. These are DTA.
Yeah. Sorry, the next DTA. And then I'm just gonna roll. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check how many I actually did. 18. 12 plus 18 is 30.
For each of those, you're out in this desert heat. I'm gonna have you roll a toughness test.
With a plus 10 for resistance heat.
Indeed, yes.
One. Two.
Each one you fail, you gain a fatigue.
Sure. 3. One. So that's 4, 5.
Did you want to recharge? Take a DTA to recharge your ability to get to fill up your fate points, or use your recharge ability for getting all your fate
So
points.
it only takes 45 minutes in the at night. And so or an hour in the day. And I can only do that once per session, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I will subtract one of those downtime actions to gain some fate points back.
Okay. Moving on to
so there's 1, and so there's fatigue.
Okay. What do we got?
5. All right. So there's 2 fatigue.
Got your fate points back after you used another one.
Yep. And then we sleep after that. We go
Okay.
back. We sleep. We get rid of the fatigue, hopefully,
Okay.
and continue on this journey. So let's do
Sleep
it
will
like
reduce. Sleeping will reduce the fatigue if you don't do anything in your mind palace that is too that would put strain on your brain.
So me working on my scholastic alchemy doesn't allow me to regain my fatigue. Okay.
You would need to do something frivolous.
That's fine.
Something fun.
No, that's completely fine. So that just means I can use meditation then instead, and then subtract from there. So
you're
pretty
also
much
not
meditation.
really penalized for only having 2 fatigue, but you also don't really have a lot of. You don't have a lot of fatigue you can have.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm trying to say if I get to the point, it takes an hour for me to just actually
get your fate points back, and then you can also meditate within the same DTA.
Yeah, the meditation goes like this. Meditation, the character face. What is this? Stop. Stat. Copy. Paste. So the character has mastered the body, blah, blah, blah. Successful willpower tests in 10 minutes without interruption reduce 1 level of fatigue. So, yeah, let's try this again. So let's do Lucky. Lucky. Got it back. Lucky.
No, you'll find it if you use May the Moon Shine Upon You on the 23.
Okay. Sounds great. I'll just not do those last 2 then.
You find it. It's doing its little sun dance because it shakes back and forth.
Yeah. Excellent.
You actually find it from the scent of cooked meat.
Okay.
You're feeling a little bit hungry. Feathered raptor is currently in its presence, and it's just cooking it. All the feathers already burned away, and you just hear it's like if somebody put something on a grill. It's just burning away. recently killed 2. But that means you're not sure how a feathered raptor got here. Probably confused by the array. Didn't even know where it was going.
Yeah.
And then eventually was just like, and then stumbled upon this thing and collapsed.
Excellent. Oh. 6, 7. So I use 7 downtime actions to try and define
Find
this
it.
thing.
Found it?
Yeah. So can I use now downtime action with Herbalist to try and study this thing and also work on my Herbalist job? Does that work out or not?
Completing the quests would get you herbalist progression, but
Right.
you're going to be using it to study it. That's why I was trying to ask, do you want to have higher herbalist score?
Understand.
Because you're going to be using herbalism to kind of figure out what the hell's going on with this thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
9 for 9?
Yeah, okay. Alright, you're looking at it. One piece of information you do know, the roots on this thing are a lot larger than what you'd think. In fact, you are well within the field of roots that go underneath. It's also very quick.
Yeah.
You don't want to spook it, so I'll have you roll a fellowship or a charm if you have it. It's very flighty, very fast. Okay.
I will. It's lucky. That is a nat 100.
Yeah, it runs away.
Excellent. Okay. I will follow it from behind then. It runs away.
Now 100, you don't know where it went.
Oh, okay.
We start over.
I start over, eh? Alrighty.
You gotta find it again.
Cool. Let's use the May the Moon shine upon you. A 77. I get my fate point back. Let's do a toughness test. Failure. Let's add another fatigue. May the Moon shine upon you. 25 again. Alrighty.
Find it again. You're like, son of a bitch, this thing's fast.
Yeah.
Toughness.
Yep. I think I gotta do just one. 7.
Okay, you found it.
I found it, and then I study it again.
Yep, herbalism, and then a charm test.
Okay. 26, not bad, and a charm test. Indrid, can I use a fate point? He's Say again? Oh? Okay. Alright, Eatsley. You know what? No, I'm gonna use a boon. No, I'm gonna use I'm gonna roll 1d10 for bone point.
Okay.
So you using my fate point, right?
I did use a fate point, and I didn't get it back for you. So 56, my target number was 47. I think I pass, because I think the 4 gives you like a plus 10 or 20.
20. Plus 20.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, so I charm it. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm just here to, check you out, make sure you're doing okay. I'll use the I'll use my wood sprite's power of tell me what you need and see if this flower
It's got everything it needs.
Got everything it needs. Excellent.
It's having a great time. It's It's really freaking hot right now, which is great. It's not great for you though. It's under the sun. It's just doing its thing. That flower, definitely having a good moment.
Excellent.
I'm
just gonna vibe with it then.
Yeah, the herbalist. You do know this thing at very specific parts of the day when the sun is straight up. It drops these little molten droplets, like the molten nectar, onto the ground.
Yeah.
If you collect them, those are very valuable for alchemy.
I just need something to collect them with.
Yes, you would need something very, very fire resistant and very, very heat resistant.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you would need a metal crucible or something that can hold liquid metal in it.
I think dark steel would probably be overkill for this kind of thing.
You don't know. You just know it needs to be very fire resistant.
All right, I will ask the party if anyone has those things. I don't know if I have it in my alchemy lab at all. I know I deal with those kind of materials sometimes, but I don't think I have something that would do that.
You do know this thing's going to be around for 2 more months, and then it's probably going to go into hibernation for several years.
Yeah.
All right, next herbalist roll.
So again, if anyone has anything for me, I'd appreciate that. At
heat resistant?
base. Yeah.
Basically a cup. It doesn't let off a lot of droplets. It's like 1 or 2 droplets at noon.
After 9
but
again?
it would need to be nearly immune to fire. Roll that charm. This time you'll get a +10. You did.
Yeah, charm.
Pass the first one.
Okay, pass the toughness.
Okay.
+10 to the charm. Awesome. And use a bone coin on that as well. More chaos this time. Oh, 9 for the 9 for the my herbalist as well. That makes any sense.
No, if you rolled bone coin immediately after, it would have done potentially something.
All right, because I was just adding it to the whole thing. But if you want to do it for the charm, that's fine because that's what you want to do.
For the charm.
Sure.
Well, if you're rolling it for the herbalists,
I got to declare beforehand. I got you, Matt. There's no. You don't need to. It's fine.
It'll go with you if you could provide for it. Everything it needs. You would need the fire element, which you don't have.
Because someone just gave it away. Didn't Eastleigh just give away our fire gem we had?
Yeah. To the Kagars. You would need to. Yeah. But at least it's not running. You don't need to roll charm anymore.
Right, so it's just going to follow me back. Yeah.
It's going to follow you around. And if it follows you back to the dungeon, that's bad.
Okay. I'd like to point out we have plenty of fire element within this dungeon.
You do?
We do. Yeah.
Between Gulper,
our spirit,
Heimstall, we could probably get a fire. We could probably do enough for it.
But
maybe a bit creative.
It needs the sun. It needs the sun, though.
Yeah. So not being in the dungeon, but above the dungeon. Okay.
Or around it. But yeah, it's gonna dance and follow you around.
Cool.
Just make me 3 herbalism tests and 3 toughness tests.
Sure. 1, 2.
Do you have the name for this yet?
3. No name yet. And 3 toughness tests. 1, 2.
What's your fatigue threshold?
Special? 12.
Ah, nice. Okay, getting tired. This being next to the thing does not help. It is very hot. But you will get all the information you need about this flower. It doesn't run away. You're able to fully study it. Yeah.
Excellent.
You're basically looking at it's kind of a bit of a lily because it does the flower does droop when the sun is not straight up. So the flower kind of droops down. But when the sun is straight up, it looks straight up to the sky, you know, dances with its little couple leaves it has, and the flower opens up and everything, and it's almost like the sun itself, you know, directly infuses the flower with nectar. So, this is a Sundance worshiper.
Okay.
This is, even after looking after the original assessment, this is a treasure grade, like plant.
Yeah.
The herb. To extract it, don't ever extract it.
Somehow you gotta get it to follow you, or
Yeah, you gotta let it follow you. And there are two things that are treasure grade on it, which is the petals of the flower,
right,
or just the flower itself, including the stamen, and of course the nectar that drops out. But if you take any of the petals or the stamen, it's not able to produce the nectar anymore.
Right. There's no.
Its stalk, roots, and leaves are flawless grade. They are used for any wood and fire, or even life element, or anything involving plants and fire fusion. So if you're gonna try and make something that has those opposing elements combined together, if you use any of those parts, there's a really high chance of success. But if you take any of the leaves from it, it goes into hibernation for several decades to regrow that leaf. Yeah. They only come out when they're feeling a bit sluggish, and the environment's just right.
So,
they do.
Was anyone able to find me something that could get this for this nectar? Does anyone have anything in the dungeon while I'm out able to get it?
Not something that's completely immune or immune to fire, or that's cup shaped.
You do know that you have one vial from the alchemy set that that was taken.
Okay.
That can hold at most 10 drops. That would hold this successfully. But
so the wood sprite could have went into my alchemy room or someone else and then transferred it through the thing, and I could have picked it up then. So I would have only got one though in the of the 10.
Yeah, it does 1 drop a day.
Yeah, perfect. On the plus side, there's my sample for my completion. That's one of the things I needed. Now I just need to fully study this plant.
You have fully studied it. Yeah.
Oh, well then I completed my quest.
Yeah, you completed your quest. That's what I was saying.
Oh, sweetness.
And you did it without harming it, which was really important.
Yeah. Okay.
This plant does have the ability to defend itself. If it experiences hostility, because it is very susceptible to emotion, like intent around it.
Yeah.
It'll just cook you alive.
like the feathered raptor.
The raptor. It emits a pulse of heat and microwave energies.
Yeah,
and will literally cook you from the inside out and
it's
outside.
It's a sun dancer, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Its dance side to side is not just for show. That's it stimulating the molecules in the air around it for perfect temperature, because it likes it hotter than even in the desert.
So,
do not bring this in the dungeon.
Actually,
it may not follow you into the dungeon.
No, I'm just going to let it. I'm going to give it a nice little spot, and just say, "Okay, I'll see you soon." And then
it'll start to wander off.
Go to sleep.
No. It does pop underneath the sand, or burrow underneath the sand during the night. It only pops out when the sun's in the sky. But yeah, it goes bloop, it hides. All right, you completed your quest. Do you remember the success for the quest?
There was no success that you put down for me, because I wrote down everything.
All right, so the success for the quest, I think it was question marks?
No, you didn't even give me question marks. You just gave me the completion aspect and the failure aspect.
Well, yeah, what was the completion aspect that you got?
No, it just says fully study the plant and collect a single sample safely. That was all I was given for information.
Okay. All right. So if you complete the quest, which you just did, you're going to be given a new pop-up. It's not.
Okay.
It's a quest tracker. Okay. If you get 2 more plants of this difficulty, you will be given an upgrade to the herbalist class. So job upgrade.
This.
Yeah. This will be a not a magic herbalist, which you would think would be next, which is technically next. This will be a step up from that, because you can be a magic herbalist going into this.
But instead, I went for treasure grade things. Found something treasure grade, and then
if you find another one and study it, because you'll get another quest. If you do 2 more, you'll get a what is that called? Give me a moment. I completely had a brain fart today.
It happens, those festivals.
You'll get Plant Charmer.
Okay. Yeah. So nothing for completion, just the next quest.
You basically can track this one plant while it's active.
Oh, interesting.
And it basically says you'll get a warning when an hour's a DTA's worth of warning before it's going to deposit its little droplet.
It gives me the notification. Excellent. Does it do that for? I wonder if it does that for the other plants I find too. That's cool. Okay.
If you fully study it, it'll do this for each individual plant that you charm.
Yeah.
And fully study.
Cool. All right.
And that you've charmed it, you can use the if you get the charmer skill, or the job upgrade, you can charm the plant into, if you set up a little device, you can have the plant, while it's active, go over to that device and deposit its little thing in there, so you don't have to be there to collect it, because you've charmed it.
OP. Nice. Love it. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Finding 2 more plants in the desert of that grade.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot easier, because they're going to be far and few between, because there's fucking no plants in the desert.
Yeah.
So you just need to look for some bizarre shit and scry it.
Mm-hmm.
You can also ask people in your dungeon about that and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So
maybe Lord Ghoul's very well traveled. Maybe he'd
have
some
the Wanderer could help you find something too.
No, for sure. I haven't seen the Wanderer in a bit, though. I think he's still traveling, right?
Nope. He is currently hanging out at the Temple of the Lost Soldiers.
Ah, yes, I remember.
Yeah. He's studying the place.
Okay.
Especially it also keeps him outside the illusion ray, because you guys need to build what is a token that you can give to people that will exclude them from the illusion.
Yeah, give them like the pass
Beguilement.
to get in. Yeah.
But he's at the Temple of the Lost Soldiers. As for what the rest of your herbalist DTA, just put it towards your herbalism.
Yes, I will, and
Okay.
that should be my 2 extra weeks. So I've done a month total so far.
Yeah, you need to do week 5, so think of the
Yeah.
next week's
But
worth
remember
of
to go on?
DTA.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, Allie, what are you doing?
Okay.
You got 3 weeks worth of shit to do.
No.
No?
No.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give you homework. Okay.
Okay.
You need to write out for me 3 weeks of DTA worth of stuff. Can you do that?
Okay. What happens with my sanctuary? Is it just built?
Yeah, you just built it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there. Anytime you go into the dream, you always pop into your sanctuary. It's up to you to, because it's an empty space right now. You need to populate it. You're not sure how Somni does her thing, but the instructions in the book you read, they're technically a mental manifestation of who you are and who you're connected to in reality. So you would be pulling aspects of your mind and your dream into your sanctuary, which would make it vulnerable. So if something happened in the dream, it would also affect Indrid. But if you want, that type of stuff from Indrid, you would have to pull that, to here. Or you can just keep them separate and just kind of populate it from things you find or dream up in the sanctuary. You can also spend time to improve it, because I said it's a level 1 sanctuary, and you can spend DTA to improve it and make it bigger, more powerful. Each level upgrade gives you an extra power and an extra word of permanence. It also makes it bigger.
Yeah, do I need per upgrade?
Since you've completed it, each upgrade is going to cost you... The first one's going to cost you 10. But each upgrade doubles how much you need. And yes, it's going to be big. Like, after the 3rd upgrade, you're going to be sitting there going, fuck, that's a lot of DTA. And it's supposed to be nasty. Yeah. It'll take years and years and years to get it to be super, super powerful. But, I mean, by the book's instructions, Somni's is only a level 5 sanctuary. And it's holding out pretty good. It's doing pretty good.
And so I get a power every level? Do I need another word of permanence every level?
Yep, every new level is a word of permanence, and then you also get to give it a new power. And that soul draining power, yeah. You got a soul drain. If things are around it or near it, it starts to eat their dream essence.
Excellent.
You can have it so that any dream essence that is eaten for your next power turns into, power that, fills a bowl or a well inside your home. Who knows? Like, you can turn powers into combos. But for now, any damage done to your sanctuary can be regenerated by it just eating the dream around it. So you basically gave it regen. Yeah. So, there's 7 days in a week. So 56 and then times 3, so 112. 168, Allie? No.
What?
Yeah, 168 DTA I need from you.
For what?
For 3 weeks of DTA.
Oh,
That'll be your homework.
okay.
Anything done in the dream, you can get 3 progress per DTA.
So,
Because it's
and
you
that
get.
includes upgrading my.
Yep. Because if you remember, each DTA is 3 hours, and you get a single roll or a single point towards progress in reality. But on the dream, it's you get 3 progress per 1 DTA towards something in the dream.
Okay.
So, that'll be it. And then I think that's it for everybody. Except for we got Phil, he's got his. Priestly duties. You got Warp Sense, Built Talent Swift Attack, Lightning Attack. And that'll be your week 6?
No, you
Week
told
5,
me
sorry.
5 days. So
That's
that's
all
the
of it.
remainder of my week. That's all
Okay.
45 downtime days.
Perfect. That means you start week 6. Next time we pop up, Eatsley's on week 6. We just need to do Susie's week 5. Unless we already did it.
Nope. We just did 4 weeks in.
Okay. What do you want to do? Because you
Just
can
wanna
make a
write that
trip down.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you can make a trip to see the Wanderer, or you can go talk to Glorgal, or hell, you can even talk to the Beholder.
Yeah. I will talk to Lord. So let's get that out of the way.
Okay.
So
Kirk and I haven't seen you in a while, Susie. Being industrious, I think.
I've been trying to keep myself busy. Much so. Yes. Look, I have some questions about herbs.
Herbs?
Yes. I picked up the job herbalist, and I went and found a very interesting plant, and got a new quest for it. So I'm just wondering if you know of any special plants of treasure grade that exist in the desert.
Well, I do. I know quite a few, actually. There's actually one. I think it followed you here. A Sundance worshipper.
Yes, that's quite the interesting phenomenon that plant is.
You can actually more consistently find them near the Great Pyramids because of the sun disk.
Ah, yes.
And it's super hot there. In fact, the Pharaoh has his own little collection of them. Sometimes they sneak out of his sacred garden. And that one probably belongs to the Pharaoh, because he goes out of his way to collect them.
Well, it's an awfully long way from home, I suppose.
Little does the Pharaoh know these things travel where they want. He just knows how to keep them corralled and sticking around. Never try and sell any of the off stuff, like the little droplets from the Sundance worshippers or any. Yeah, don't sell any. No, that's because he has some. And if he knows you has some, he's going to ask why you have some and where you got it. And that's the questions you don't want.
No, they're more valuable for catalysts. So.
Right, and he's going to have plenty because he has a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, he has enough of them that he at least has one awake year-round. And they're only awake for 3 months at a time. They sleep for decades. He's got a lot of them.
I have about 2 months left with this little guy, but
Wow, that's a lot of droplets.
yeah.
Just make sure to be there for the droplet because you're not going to get treasure grade stuff, and those are going to be very hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
Also, humans don't respect plants like that, so they usually try and trap them, and it's bad. So if you ever are super desperate, you can sell a droplet to some humans for some cold, hard, sweet cash, or whatever transaction you're making.
Yes.
Because it's treasure grade for us, it's treasure grade plus for them, because Sundash worshippers are only found in the desert.
Yes.
Territory. There's a cacti.
Oh.
That you can go look for.
Okay.
Only in the driest parts of the desert can you find it. Not including the salt plains, because that's different.
Connect to a lot of different places, so it makes sense.
Basically, the barren wastes is where you can find this, because this stupid plant causes it to become a barren waste. Cactus literally drinks all of the moisture out of a several dozen kilometer radius, and then it picks up and moves. They're one of the reasons why the desert permanently stays the desert. Several greater creatures will actually go out of their way to try and eliminate it, because it sucks literally all the water out of a place. Mm-hmm. If you ever see one near our home, get it to move or kill it, because it'll literally drink all the water out of the temple.
We do not want that.
Right. Normally, they live in the hottest areas of the desert. I know the Pharaoh has one, but he keeps it off-site in a private greenhouse area. I know this because financial records, because it's stupidly expensive for him to keep. That's one. The reason why it's stupid valuable is because all of that water ends up... It fills the cactus, but there's a flower that blooms once it's drained enough water.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does bloom, it completely rejuvenates the life in the area.
Okay.
Like, it'll literally make the place it drained of all water.
Makes it like an oasis.
It literally makes oases.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't get enough water, the flower never blooms, and then it's just waste.
See.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's wild, isn't it? The only mention I know of it is the crystal specifically. When the flower blooms, it forms it actually leaves a few droplets on the ground of nectar, and those nectars turn into like supreme, flawless, or even treasure grade water element crystals.
Oh.
That then turn into an oasis after it leaves. It takes a couple years for the water to fill up, but
a little bit of give and take. That's interesting.
Yes, it takes until it gives, and if it doesn't give back, it just turns a whole area into unlivable place. That's almost as bad as the salt plains. But eventually, because of the water and how it just continuously, can fight back the desert at that point, you get oases. They're oases makers, or they kill parts of the desert. Yeah, some people will literally, some intelligent monster, if they ever find one in an area, If they can't get rid of it, what they'll do is they'll basically gorge this thing on water and force the flower to bloom. It drops its nectar, forms crystals, and then the thing zips off to the new area. It actually goes into hibernation, the cactus, because it's so full of water. It doesn't need more. Yeah. I don't know what it's actually called. I only know it exists because I was in charge of financial stuff at the Great Pyramids.
Okay. I can take a look around. It's probably more of a safety thing for us too. If I find one close.
Yes, it's a very big safety thing. I do know you're not going to find one anywhere near close.
Okay.
Because the fire ants will eat it.
Right.
And the Desolator loathes the things. In fact, they're afraid of the Desolator's territory because that's a water element. So,
something maybe in the future I can work with. But I appreciate you telling me.
There's one other plant that you might find interesting that I know exists. I know a lot less about it. There's a specific plant, a vampiric one. I don't know too much about it, but they're a blood drinker plant that lives inside, I think, the Winding Canyons. That was the last time it was reported being seen. But it needs a significantly potent shaded area. Or really protected area. It likes to live up in a crevasse. And what it does is it spits a seed at you. And the seed burrows under your skin. And the plant then slowly drinks your blood over a certain amount of time. And then it's really hard to know it's there. And then I think it takes control of your body at one point. I don't know.
Interesting.
I know that's a treasure grade because he can kill purple or plum grade heroes. That's why it stuck out to me. They found a plum blossom rank adventure crammed up in a crevasse several hundred feet up, and blooming out of his corpse was one of these plants.
Huh. Well, that is very nice to know.
I'd stay away from it.
Yeah,
if you have any
definitely
blood in your
dangerous.
body. If you have any blood in your body, stay away from it.
I think I have blood.
You do have blood, yeah. Eachly would be the only one that could get close. But that doesn't mean it doesn't mean it's going to let you do anything to it, because I guarantee a treasure grade plant would fight you. Even if you're a Skellerman, it would probably try and kill you. I don't know. If worst comes to worst, you can always go to the Briar.
The Briar?
Yeah, there's a Fey Briar that I told you about in the steppes.
Okay.
Past the Winding Canyons. Fey spirits, which are a type of monstray. Things of trickery and malice. They're technically an evolved type of wood sprite. They are very good at raising hostile plants for their own home and their own necessity. You can definitely find treasure grade there, but you will have to deal with the Fey sprite, and you'll have to deal with everything else there, and the keeper, and so. I hate to say it, but you can make a transactional exchange with the Beholder. He would know some very curated and very difficult to get information. In fact, he might be able to literally point out on a map where to find one. But again, everything involving the Beholder is currently transactional.
Which is such a shame, especially for one of our own. But I mean, they seem different. So
Yes, they are very different. They are not. He is a legendary creature. That is the problem. And not all legendaries are team players, you know?
right.
Surprised we got Phil, who is a very big team player, because dragons usually aren't. But, especially Diggy Dargons, they are not team players.
Ooh.
They're very hostile and violent dragons. No, Phil's as sweet as can be. And I think we're really blessed to have him.
I agree as well, and I think the blessing is all his, and Nareem just has a little bit of sway over.
Nareem has a soft spot for, sweethearts.
Yes.
Yeah, so, yeah. So,
okay. Well, thank you, Lord Ghoul. I will take this to heart, and this is new information for me, so
yeah,
I can work off that.
no problem. I have something for you, though.
Oh?
I've been holding on to... I've collected a lot of things over my years. A lot of things. Whether through happenstance, purchase, a rare opportunity, made it myself, whatever. I can't share both with you at the current point, but I think since this is your current focus, is herbalism, or is alchemy your focus?
Right now it's herbalism, but alchemy is my title quest, so I plan to focus on alchemy and cooking. Those are my two. And
right.
The herbalism is a
one.
Mm-hmm.
Pick one that you are really, really, really focused on, like primary. Because I have an alchemy set, my personal alchemy set that I've used for hundreds of years, ever since I picked it up and picked up alchemy in the Great Pyramids all those years ago. I would like to gift it to you, or I could gift you my herbalist set, which is a bunch of special tools. Now, I'm not gonna. I will eventually hand each one of these out, and you may end up with both. Right. But for now, pick one. Especially if you're going after plants and whatnot that are really dangerous or rare.
One of the reasons why I wanted to get this quest done was because I didn't know how long the sun dancer would be here for. I didn't want to lose the opportunity.
Okay. Well, pick one. If you master that completely, all the way down to, getting secret quests and progressing all the way down that, once you reach full completion, and there's literally nothing you can do further, then I'll let you have another set. But it does give the chance for others in the dungeon, something from my collection. My firstborn or get my first pick, but I need to share,
I will go for the alchemy set because I have the title quest catalyzer, and I think that is the furthest I can go with alchemy since I already have mastery for it. So,
okay, well then, my gift to you,
and
you'll pull off from one of his fingers a ring. The alchemy set is in there. It's its own lab inside the ring.
I see.
When you use it, it'll teleport you inside the ring. The ring will then float in midair and emit a bluish light. If the ring is interacted with or attacked, it'll force you out of the alchemy lab.
So you can defend yourself. Okay.
So you can defend yourself in the lab, but it also, you're forced out of the lab. Everything inside keeps brewing. That's one of the things I specifically went out of my way to make sure this lab can do. So you can have things working while you do normal things in your life.
Okay. That sounds good.
If someone touches the blue aura, that's the doorbell. That's saying, hey, hello.
Right.
Without just, forcing you out. But if they touch the ring, it forces you out, which can really screw with what you're working on. But my gift to you, it's a full alchemy lab with, let's just say, extremely reliable stuff. And I have... okay, Million, go ahead and go. I'm going to finish up with Susie, and that'll be it. So...
Well,
Thanks
I mean,
for playing.
I have 30 minutes before I need to get started to leave, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying
Yeah.
you can leave. I'm not going to do anything more with Phil because you are at week 6. I'm trying to get to people to week 6.
Okay.
But you can
Well,
more than
listen
welcome to sit around for 30 minutes. Yeah. There is 2 things in the alchemy set that I am particularly proud of. One is the chemistry set.
Oh, chemistry.
Oh yes, it's a glass set. Is different containers and different alchemy and chemistry set supplies I've picked up. As I said, over the centuries, some of this stuff is no longer made because the people who made them are dead. It's a one-of-a-kind chemistry set. It is incomplete because there's always more things to get, but there shouldn't be any alchemy and chemistry you can't do that's outside of the divine. But if you're going to do the divine, well, you need their permission, the divine's permission
Beforehand,
anyways.
yes.
Yes, but it can let you do treasure grade alchemy
My
if
lord,
you have the skill.
did you know that I had a personal experience with Idirndale recently?
I felt her presence. That's interesting.
I was granted her bow.
Well, congratulations. That's not small. You probably had to work for it. If I know Indirndale at all, she always likes to test her followers.
It was quite an interesting experience. At the very beginning, I was under the impression that darkness was, well, working against me. That's kind of who was trying to devour the moons. But they're both friends, so there's other things we need to worry about, she says.
Darkness is not always your enemy, because darkness itself is not an enemy. It's what lurks in the darkness.
Right.
Or metaphorically has become stained with darkness.
Mm-hmm.
That is the enemy. Yeah, it's requires a bit of maturity and some out-of-the-box thinking to really kind of get the message they're trying to send and the lesson they're trying to teach. But congratulations.
Thank
You
you,
were
buddy.
very much earned the chemistry set then. The other thing I'm proud of is the chemistry tools. They will permit you to not worry so much about handling of materials. The tools also include a safety set, apron, goggles, helmet, even face guard, respirator.
Oh, good thing I've become more humanoid in my form, so this will work nicely.
There's also a fumigator. You don't need to worry about fumes unless you're trying to collect them, and there is a toggle for that. Fumes will not pour out of the ring. There is a orb of annihilation I have stuck in there for the garbage disposal.
Thank you, my lord. I wasn't. That seems very. I mean, it's what's used. It's what's needed. Wow.
It'll take a lot of learning too, because you can accidentally destroy things in there, like using the wrong tool on the wrong thing.
I will take my time.
This is a step above alchemy. You won't be held back by your tools anymore. You'll be held back by your own ability.
Very well.
And your own genius. I have a series of cauldrons in there, by the way. You need to learn exactly what each were used for. There should be a label. and don't use them for anything else but than what I've been using them for because
I've
of the
I've
coating.
learned. Yes.
Also, certain ones are made out of certain things, and if it gets too hot, it'll destroy the cauldron because not all of them are made out of iron. Two of them are made out of very fragile clay.
See.
So, yeah.
Well, I have something to do, and thank you, man.
Yeah, I'll give you the ring. Yeah, that. Basically, just call the alchemy lab.
Yep.
It is a treasure grade ring.
Very nice. It's a cumulative effect. I like it.
Well, the treasure grade builds the space in there and allows you to modify what's in there X number of times, determinate on the materials used to build the ring, and allows transport in and out. So it is a dimensional storage ring, but inside those objects are completely separate than the ring itself.
Right.
Downside, if the ring ever gets destroyed, it collapses everything in there, and
then
it's
it
all
just blurps. Yeah.
It doesn't spit anything out. It just
internalizes. I got you.
Right, because there's a orb of annihilation in there. If the ring ever breaks, the orb is what comes out.
Yes. At least there's something.
Yeah. So. Okay.
Excellent. So I have. I'll probably spend most of my time the next week to just familiarize myself with.
It'll take you 100 DTA to know every single tool in the lab and have it completely figured out.
This is one of my. I think this is like my. I think this is my first personal gift. I don't know if the cauldron was a gift directly from Goal. I think the dungeon created that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my first literally gift, so she will take the time.
Yeah. And Eatsley, Gull has given you your gift. Jar, if you're still here. I don't know if you're here.
I'm here. What?
Yeah. Gull has given you your character a gift.
Yes.
Of his tools. That writing set.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is, by the way, it may not seem as cool as the alchemy lab, but it is of equal value as the alchemy lab with the things he gave you.
Yeah, I understand that. It's mostly, I blame Lord Gold for the predicament that I'm in right now.
Oh, you blame Lord Gold? But dude, you can.
It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. And Eatsley, I and Eatsley love it. But it's that very back of the brain thought I wouldn't be in this position if I listened to Lord Gold.
Yeah.
Or if I didn't listen to Lord Gold.
But at the same time, the fact that you have the ability to write a writ of the underworld or a writ of Ziki, I mean, it takes you a stupid amount of DTA.
Yeah.
But a writ's a writ.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you do need to have it signed and ratified with a stamp or a seal. But if you ever become a priest, you can just do it yourself.
Yep.
And then if you trade a writ to somebody, who knows what they'll trade for that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm just a life priest right now as I'm making my way towards the priest.
You're playing a long game character.
Yep.
It's starting to build.
Alright, my way.
But I do plan on, if you progress fast and far enough, and it is involving something that would fit a sorcerer or a wizard, Lord Ghoul has all sorts of little gifts of that, for a profession or a class. And we'll probably give one to each of the players eventually. And that's my goal. Because Lord Ghoul is supposed to be there to be your
mentors?
Well, your dad.
Yeah. Here's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for us to go back to the human world, right? We find the genie there. We find Lord Ghoul's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. Like, yeah, by the way, Lord Ghoul wanted us to call you Mom.
If Susie's
you're
there,
just an instigator at that point.
Wait, I'm the troublemaker. You can't do that.
Watch me. I was the one that calling her mom at the first go around.
Oh my gosh. Indrid, you have a new mission. You have to find Lord Goal's ex-girlfriend and be the one that call her mom first.
Is this a quest?
Personal mission. Because otherwise
Quest
Easley's
from
going to do it
God.
first. I know. Easley's going to do it first.
Fine, whatever.
You think he's going to... Do you want to give him the true troublemaking opportunity?
I'll think about it.
Okay. All right. Let's finish up with Susie. You're given that. Do you just want to devote it all to that, or do you want to actually go talk to the Wanderer?
No. The Wanderer is outside of the range, aren't they? Isn't this,
yes, he is.
So I got the green,
Yep,
right?
he's outside of the green. Yep.
Otherwise, I would.
But you do have the ability to call them over. But again, that's a safety security issue because you guys haven't built any access tokens. Lord Goal is working on that though, because that's his responsibility. So, okay.
Thank you for the session, Matt.
Yeah, and then you just fill out the rest of your DTA for the week.
Yep.
It costs you 1 to talk to Lord Goal.
Thank you.
It costs 100 to really understand. All the tools.
And like I said, I already had my reasoning for wanting to, dive deep into this bad boy, so.
Cool. Alright, that'll be it, guys. Thank you for playing. I'll be back on in a bit, Char. I'm gonna go get my dinner, and then I'll come back down in like 10-15 minutes and we can just hang.
Be safe.
Okay, bye.
You met. Right, Eligo. That's fair. It looks like you're about to fall asleep on the couch. Well, see how tomorrow goes. I do Niamancy Land.